Peace, 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 peace. It's your boy Killer B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. You got a witch out burning motherfucking asses up every goddamn time. We got a good show for y'all tonight. So keep your ears open. Keep your ass on this goddamn channel. You're gonna get it in. We got some special guests tonight. We got Mythos. We got Siberius and serpent. Demons and angels. So I'll be right back with y'all asses and shit. So hold on.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Cause it don't just get scattered. It don't just get scattered. Cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Cause it don't just get scattered. Scattered. It just blows my mind how it don't hand out. I knew the answer but kept my hand down. Kept my mouth shut and just sat down. Sat downs in alleys, that kid in the background. Yeah, I'm an outcast, always got cast out. Never got asked out on dates, I got asked out. Always some dumb shit happening to me. I might as well get used to it cause it's routine. Family problems due to the lack of these dollars. I'm tapped, don't be mad at me. I know things are crappy, but what's ironic is that when we had it, we still wasn't happy. Constantly clobbered, round the clock, upside the head with the concept that we are impoverished. Even when Father brought us from the bottom and bought us that brand new house with walk-in closets. But it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter, it don't just get scattered. Just get scattered, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter. Scattered. Just get scattered. This is ludicrous. This is lunacy. How long will this beef go on between you and me? Listen, you would think that you only have kind words for me when you speak at my eulogy. Shit, some excuse. I beat you up when we was kids, but that's what big brothers do. I got hit by my big brother too. Sometimes with close fists and harder with drug induced. I know 1 + 1's 2. I ain't stupid. 2 wrongs don't make it right, but 3 rights would puzzle you. That's why we keep running in circles in one big loop, endless cycle as we guzzle through, trying to catch a bus to just forget. Smoking bud makes me numb, fills my lungs with regret. And my heart is so heavy every time it beats. It keeps thumping my chest, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter, it don't just get scattered. Just get scattered, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter. Scattered, just scattered. There's a family we chose. Then there's a family that we were born with. That clashes. I quote vote on that one we both know that sibling rivalry gets out of hand. It could go on for years. It could last even after you're grown. Not to mention the lasting effects it could have on your soul. It's old. It's so tragic, my friends. Speaking of friends, when they call, I don't answer my phone. Let it go straight to voicemail, leave a message after the tone. And I don't give a flying rat's ass, I think you're an asshole. It's so sad that I wrote this song about my friends and my fam, but they act like my foes. So I stand on my own, all alone, mad at my folks singing. Doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter, it don't just get scattered. Just get scattered, cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, cause it don't just get scattered. It doesn't matter. Scattered. Just get scattered.
with y'all. Tonight, we got Siberius sleeping serving in the building. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. We're gonna get it in tonight. Yes, sir.
So yeah, we're just waiting on Mythos to get on and get this party started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got Sister P in the chat. Hold it down as moderator. Shout out to Sister P.
Hey,
And,
P.
Yeah, so I've been looking forward to this video here. So
Yeah, we had a little homework we did for this one, so it should be good.
right on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see Mythos just popped in.
Hell yeah.
For him.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y'all gonna really be impressed with Mythos, man. I was impressed with him, and that's how we kind of linked up. You know what I'm saying? If you follow my channel and stuff, and he had a video, and I made a response to his video, and me and him just clicked. And the beauty of it is, he's less than an hour away from me right now.
Wow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. It sure is.
Yeah, so we got send him the link. You just click that link. Come on in. I think you might have to set up a account, but it's real quick to do that.
Yeah, Mythos, just click the link, buddy. It's real easy, man. It's plug and play, really.
Yep. Yeah, so tonight's video is going to be about angels and demons. Angels and demons. So
yeah, we're gonna put some fabrications and some myths to rest, and go in what angels and demons really are. You know, religion has told you one thing, and then reality is an entirely something different, and we're going to break it down.
Right on. Yeah, so we get this thing started. If you want to do another little introduction of yourself, I know not to be.
So while we're waiting on our good friend Mythos to jump on, I'm Siberius, the sleeping serpent. I am an occultist. I have studied for 10, practiced for 3, well versed in many different pantheons and traditions, and what I like to do is take everything, take what I found that's worked and put it into my own doctrine or practice or school of thought. And one thing that I'm definitely going to try to portray is that there is a lot of practicality to this. And but I'm going to save all that information for later when we get into this subject.
Right on. So yeah, we got Daniel Heru up in the chat. What up, Heru? It's gonna be a good show tonight. Tune in. All the people just getting in here, make sure y'all guys hit that like button. Share this joint, your favorite friends on your favorite social media outlet. If you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell.
Oh yeah.
We got 2 guests on here. It's again Siberius, the sleeping serpent. You guys can check out his site, his YouTube channel, and we're gonna have Mythos, the Grum Draco, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. You guys can check out his channel also. His name is in the chat. If you guys can see him in the chat, you guys can just put that name in your YouTube search engine. Find his channel. So yeah, we're gonna get into some good stuff tonight. I can't wait.
Sure. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped about it. I've been thinking about it all day.
So you trying.
Come on, Mythos. You can do it, bud. You got it, man. We believe in you.
That's right, Pete. Say, grab your stack and something to drink, sit back and enjoy the show.
That's right. Hey, while we waiting, man, is there any way where I can, I guess I can watch the chat and still talk and hear you and stuff?
Right.
But like every time I hit the chat, like remember last time I kept like exiting out. So there's still some things about this that I don't know. But if I want to watch the chats that are, in real time, I just click on the chat button down here on the bottom.
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, you're watching it through the StreamYard thing. The chat should already be rolling on there. I'm looking at it from a computer, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so all I see is the ones that you post, and then I see Siberius. You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. You know.
You know what? I only used StreamYard on my phone one time, and I think you're right. I couldn't see the chat on there, so
Okay.
I'm really not that familiar with how to see the
Okay.
chat and that at the same time. Yeah, that's a little.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I won't be able to be that interactive, I guess. Well, hang on. Let's test it out. Let's do a little test while we wait on Mythos. I'm gonna hit chat right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to comments. Okay, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll with that then.
All right, cool. Yeah, so he's waiting for the brother to come on in here, get it in tonight. Yeah, and what else I wanted to say? Yeah, announce you guys check out your channels, and yeah, I don't want to ask no questions now and stuff. I want to leave it later.
Give Mythos a chance. It's his first time.
Yeah, a lot of people have issues and stuff like that setting it up.
Yeah,
because I think you set it up, then it sends like a code to your email, and you gotta bounce back and forth and stuff.
I actually don't even remember the process because secretly I was so psyched. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember doing it.
Said it wouldn't let you get. Did it give a reason for it? Let me put this. Did you click the link that I put in there? Let me try to put the link in the chat again.
There we go.
Set up account. If you set up an account and click that link, it should automatically bring you in there. I know you set up the account and then it sends an email with a code. And then you come back to StreamYard and put the code in. And that should set up your account. And then you should click that link and you should come right on in here.
Okay.
I know it might be a little different on the phone. I don't know if he's on the phone or a computer or not.
I think he's on his phone.
Let's see how it goes now.
Yeah. Give it another shot, Mythos. It should work. Now, one thing I see that I can't write any comments myself because I guess I'm a guest.
No, you should be able to write a comment.
Now that I don't see any way to do. It's all good though. Whatever I got to say, I'll just say it. That's all good.
If I put like the comments and stuff like that from the chat, I put them on the screen. Like I just got P's comment on there.
Right. Cool. All right.
If anything important somebody says and stuff, I'll just throw it up on the screen.
Yeah.
Brother, get it? So, yeah,
well, I know you.
Both
your last.
Go ahead.
Your last. Now I think I missed one last night because I slept real good last night. I went to bed early and woke up late. But I guess 2 nights ago, I wasn't about to jump on that, man.
Yeah.
You was really getting in their ass.
Yeah, that's usually what I'm known for.
Yeah. No pun getting up in their ass, no pun intended, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm known for around
here. God damn.
I'm known for around here. But
I was riding back. I was on the road and I got on YouTube while I was driving. I know I shouldn't, but I was anyways.
Yeah.
I got on there and I saw what the fuck was going down. I said, God damn. I couldn't get off though, but I wasn't about to jump on.
Yeah, last night's show itself. It was a short one last night.
Yeah.
I was just like talking about like violence and shit, and, like,
Right.
stuff like that. But you said that you and Mythos are from the same state. And you guys
Yeah.
together.
So here in South Carolina, we have a capital. It's called Columbia. Okay.
Yep.
I'm in a place not far from the capital, and he actually is just on he's like what's a good way to put it? If you go from Columbia to Myrtle Beach, I know Myrtle Beach is very famous. He's like between Columbia and Myrtle Beach. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
So he's not far at all.
right on.
And I'm just on the other side of Columbia, so
Yeah.
I can literally ride up the road and get up to the top of the hill, and I can see the Columbia skyline from where I'm at. I mean, it's still miles away, but you can see it. You know, it's pretty cool.
Cool. Do you guys like deal with like the same type of work or path or whatever?
Yeah. So what it was, man, what it was is he came across my most famous video, which is about my experience with an energy that's called Beleth. Now, Beleth is a demon in the Goetia. And since he had some videos and had some subscribers, and I'm still real small myself, it gave me a notification that he subscribed to me. So I said, So I checked him out, you know, especially by his name, Mythos. So see what he was about. And I saw his video on Are You Afraid of the Dark? Where he talks about fear and darkness and how it's used. And I was very impressed. So I asked him, I think I asked him permission to follow up on his video, send him my email, and then we exchanged numbers from there and come to find out that we're right up the road from one another. And a lot of the same schools of thought that we have, we share, which is not surprising because what is, you know, when you get rid of all the dogma and bullshit and religion, there's only one reality we live in, and the way that reality, the nature of that reality is one way. So we know the same stuff because we've been able to look past all the dogma of and bullshit of man, you know. Oh, looks like I'm by myself. That's all good.
My bad, I'm here. I hit the wrong goddamn button. But
It's all good. Hey, I could have handled it from doing it. Welcome to Siberius the Killer Bee Show. We're gonna burn their asses up tonight. We're really gonna burn their asses up. That's what I'll just say that the whole video. Y'all already know what it is. We're gonna burn their ass up tonight.
Mythos, if you have any more issues, just let me know in the chat. Maybe I can help you with it. If not, we try to find some other way to get you in there.
Yeah.
You figure it out. Yeah, some people have issues and stuff. It
Right.
could be your browser that you're using too. That could be like a factor.
Yeah. If push comes to shove, I'll jump off and give him a call and see if I can help him.
Yeah. That's not one of the action. So tell me a little bit about the occult scene in that state.
Oh man, great question. Okay. So I pride myself on being in the at least known in the upper echelons in the what you and your friends call the inner circle. Okay, I thought that was a cool term. And I have at such a young age been able to do this, not to toot my own horn, because I'm very brazen when it comes to seeking knowledge. You know, it may come from like my sales background, or I don't give a fuck if I have a question or if I want to make a connection, I'm just going to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that I guess you call it social bravery, and having the capacity to understand these concepts, which most people can. And I'm not saying I'm a genius or nothing. A lot of people that you can put you can do whatever you put your mind to. This is true. But my thirst for knowledge, or wanting to know, a lot of people say, me being a Scorpio, that might be a Scorpio thing. We're never satisfied, especially when it comes to money and power and sex. Well, mine was knowledge as well as those other things.
Right.
I'm sleeping at my work right now because I just work all day long. I don't have time to, it's best for me just to have a little room here, pump some AC in this bitch and put a bed in and wake up and hit it the next day. Yeah, I'm a hustling man. But and most real occultists are, because when you're an entrepreneur, the possibilities are limitless. You have no one there limiting your growth, only yourself,
Yeah.
So a lot of people who are really about it are entrepreneurs. But yeah, so the shaman, you can check out my video. The shaman, he's like my spiritual father. He gave me a good base.
Possibilities are limited.
What's that now?
No. I hit something. Go ahead.
Okay. And I've known him for 13 years, and then I had another gentleman who taught me the dark side of things, and really showed me. He's the one that really, shaman taught me. I was classically trained under him, but then at a certain point, there comes a time where you have to put your study into practice, and not taking nothing away from shaman. He's an extremely powerful individual. Now that I am practicing, now I guess it was just his love for me as like a son, that he never took me down those roads. But not taking nothing away from my second teachers as well, which is Root Dr. Blackbird Shadrach. He has a page too, and he taught me not the evil side, but the darker side. You can't get this mixed up. It's not evil. It's the dark side. And showed me more of the left-hand path, and the practicality in ritual. You don't need a white candle or a black candle or a blue candle or this. It when it comes to connecting with certain energies, sometimes you need nothing at all. You get what you put into it. And he showed me from like a real practice professional spiritualist. He showed me many things, and will forever be grateful to him, as well as I am to shaman. And then I sort of ran with it. Once I had the information, I ran with it. And one thing that you have to be, when you're running with this information, is follow your intuition, which is my greatest gift. But you still have to be critical and logical, or your intuition and your imagination combined are going to take you into la la land, and you're going to start saying all this stupid shit that's not even real, which is what happens to a lot of people. I hate to call names, but like some of the shit that they be saying over there, with like where everyone's initials are they have their first and second initial and then their last name or whatever. I ain't gonna say no names.
Right.
But some of the shit they coming out their mouth is just so fantastical, that it's just kind of, it leaves you begging the question: is it just a trap for nerdy white kids' money? That's what I always like to say. And then it kind of gets into, putting all this knowledge into practical use, and progressing in life from a mundane point of view and understanding that everything is connected. And again, that's another topic that I want to say for once we get Mythos on here, and how the physical and the metaphysical are one in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
The video that you did on the dark and Mythos did also.
Right.
And you did also video today, actually, too.
I appreciate that.
Point that I commented, I don't know if I pulled the trigger on the comment or not. I don't know if you saw it or not on the last one you just did today.
I don't think so.
Let me see. It was a point that you made in there. I'm trying to think of what it was. And I was commenting it, but I think I left and I didn't hit send. So
right.
Probably all done. I closed up all my windows before I started this show. It was a great point. It'll come to me later.
That's all right. Yeah, and I scheduled that. You know, I have my secret lair. That's, you know, I have an office that I keep private to just myself and just a select few people like ourselves, you know, that I deem worthy to even come up in there, because I have a lot of, if y'all saw that new headquarters movie, I have a lot of, or new headquarters video, I put a lot of antiquities that are the vibes, the energies that are attached to them have literally made grown men run out in terror. It's happened twice. One guy was Hispanic, one guy was white. And yeah, the shit's real. You know, you better believe it. If you don't, just step into my office and I'll give you a quick lesson.
What happened to make them get the fuck out of here?
Dude, do you want to hear the white one or the Hispanic one?
Both. I want to hear both.
Okay. All right, man. So the Hispanic one, we'll do that one because that one happened first. I had a friend who was my friend since 9th grade. We're not friends anymore because he couldn't maintain his righteousness. He wanted to be a little shithead. So we'll just leave it at that. You know, being a thief and stuff, I have no time for people who can't maintain being a good and righteous person, especially in my line of work. Not only my spiritual practice, but my entrepreneurship as well. You know, I run a tree service while selling solar for myself, all in one. Whoa, who we got here?
Yo.
Mythos, that's you, bud?
Yeah. How am I sounding? I sound good?
You sound great, man. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Peace to everybody in the chat. You feel me? Killer B was popping. You know what I'm saying? Siberius, my bro. What's up? I'm finally
made it. Finally. Well, Killer, would you like me to continue this story?
Yeah. Tell us story that we get.
All right. I'm gonna tell my little story and then we'll get it on and popping. All right. So he had a guy that he was living with, and they came to the house. I got a little single wide out in the cut, you know, that I run off to you know, to do whatever. You know, I keep it. I even though I ain't standing, I still keep it up and stuff. And but that's whenever I had all my antiquities in there. And I like to call them antiquities because antiquity makes you feel, oh, it's like a museum piece. Like, yeah, a museum piece, you know. And it really that's not what it is. But, you know, for the layman's person, I like to call them antiquities. And so here's the backstory with him that I didn't know before. They were there to like help me like do some shit. Like I was going to throw them some money to help me do some stuff around the house. Like I think they were building some shelves or something for me. I can't really remember. And you know, in the Hispanic culture, you got Santa Muerte, you know, the goddess of death, or the priestess of death, or that spirit, that energy. And come to find out, he had fucked around as a kid, and in his belief that energy has been after his soul, and he came up in my house, and I've got these bowls. Okay, they're the real deal. You know, one is positive, one is negative, one is masculine, one is feminine. They're like they're like gateways, okay? And basically he caught some vibe and told our mutual friend that he had to get the fuck out of there. So they told me some little story. My mom is she's broken down or something, whatever. I don't even remember what the excuse was. So they had to dip, and then my boy called me back later and said, "Yeah, he said it was the bull, man. Said Santissima was after him or something like that." So said that he was mumbling to himself with his eyes wide open, just looking all fucking sketchy. So last time I ever saw that dude, and then there was this other guy. This is the white guy, okay. And me and him, we went to like 4th and 5th and 6th grade together, and we just here and there, throughout the years, we'd make contact and chat it up and whatever. Well, I was about to leave for New Orleans to go do this cell tower training. This is when I used to work on cell towers, and he was like down and out. I was like, man, come, we'll cook out and have some beers. Come stay tonight, and you can ride with me. I think we're going somewhere to put in the application. Ride me in the morning, and then get you on. They'll fly you out. And he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And I told him, and I told him, I was like, "Now, are you afraid of ghosts? Are you afraid of the paranormal? Does this sort of thing freak you out?" He's like, "No, man, I'm with it. I know I've seen a ghost and blah 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 blah." I said, "Okay, this ain't that though. This is something completely different." He said, "Nah, man, I'm good." So he got there. It's about 15 minutes. He's acting real fucking weird. I'm like, I don't even want this motherfucker here no more. But I was cool. And he did make the excuse. I remember he said, "Oh, my granddad just got in a wreck. I got to roll." He went out the back door. He didn't have no ride waiting on him or nothing. And he called me later, and I said, "Man, is your granddad all right?" He's like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man," because he felt bad. He said, "I got spooked the fuck out." Like that's what he said. I said, "Well, I told you." He said, "Yeah, it is what it is," and I ain't talked to him since. So that's yeah, that's my life. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So we got Mythos in here.
Yes, sir. Man. Like Broski said, we from the same state, South Carolina, where everything is crispy, Christified to a T. But I actually I was fortunate enough to get into metaphysics at a very early start. Like when I was in maybe my junior year of high school, I linked up with some guys who were dealing with heavy in metaphysics, and they were like really impressed by me because I wasn't, typical, atypical type Southern type guy or whatever. So they, allowed me to kind of chill with them and learn with them and build with them, and they exposed me to a lot of information that ultimately led to me going on my own path and just I delve into everything. Like that's kind of why I've never like boxed myself into a certain group or a particular path or whatever you want to call it, because I'm into everything. You know what I'm saying? If it's weird, I'm into it, like straight up, and basically, I mean, my life is really not that exciting, so I'm gonna try to dress it up a little bit. But I actually, never really strayed away from any of this stuff since. You know what I'm saying? It's just been progressing to new levels. Even just within the past year of my life, I can honestly say like I've been introduced into a lot of new shit and cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dad. You know what I'm saying? So like my seed, she's all into it too. She's anything magical, anything metaphysical, whatever she want to know about it. And it's great that I have the capacity to teach her these things straight from the horse's mouth, as they say. And yeah, and I came across Broski channel actually doing some work of my own. I was dealing with a particular goetic spirit, and I came across Broski channel, and I was really impressed. I really was, because what he was saying was on the money about this particular energy of this particular spirit, whatever. And like, I was just smitten, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, wow, like that's what's up. And we linked and we talked, and I already knew. I was like, yeah, he's family, basically, you know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, man. But here I am, you know what I'm saying? Jack of all trades, man. Any topic, any subject matter, any path or whatever. That's I'm with it. I'm all in it. You know.
Yeah. I was just asking Siberius earlier too about the scene in South Carolina. And like you said, South Carolina real justified and stuff like that. But it does have that
Yeah. Can
history.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we hear you good, brother.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you guys couldn't hear me, but yeah, man, that's about sums it up for the kid, man. You know, I'm just a vessel.
Yeah. You know, one thing that you just had to do when it comes to that, when you get to a certain point, uh, you may lose family and friends. I've been fortunate enough
Oh
where I
yeah,
haven't really lost that many family and friends, but I do kind of keep it under wraps. They know I'm a little out there. They know that my mind works differently than the next guy. But they don't really, like my parents, they don't know the level. They don't know the extent, you know. My dad knows that, we've had intellectual conversations because my dad's an intellectual too. And he's just very general and broad, and it is what it is. And and I keep it at that level with my dad, you know, not to protect him or anything, but he's just not about it. So I just kind of I keep it on par with him. And my mama's hip to it, but she don't even know the level that I'm on either, because it's just some things, people that you care about, you got to shield to a certain extent. I mean, does that
that's
make
very
sense
true.
with y'all? Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
like our
I can
kids, it's
definitely,
nothing but love and light.
Right.
Yeah,
facts.
I'm
I
not
can
trying to
definitely,
indoctrinate.
And that's cool too, because like you said, you don't want to ram it down their throats and stuff like that. Where with my experience with like the Hebrew Israelite cult and stuff like that, that's something that pushed your family away because we constantly wanted to teach them this stuff and make them believe this shit, like believe a lot of this stuff. So, like, yeah, that's cool. I totally like get that.
Well, I mean, and that's the retardation in all monolithic religious doctrines.
Right.
My way is the only way, and you're the devil, and rah 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 rah, and forcing this upon their peers, their kids, and you. That's just a shitty thing to do. You guys to rise above all that and let people be what they want to be and believe what they want to believe. I mean, even from a patriotic standpoint, if you believe that there's a fucking uh that the that God is a fucking frog that lives in the sky, even though I think you're a dumbass, I'm going to allow you to believe that, and I'm going to fight for your fucking right to believe that.
Yeah.
Because even as Americans, because we are Americans, that is the essence of being an American.
Right.
And being able to think like that on a patriotic level, and then on a cosmic level, which is where we truly are at, you know, is I just don't see any other way to be than to be that.
Right. Before we get the top,
for sure,
get the
for
topic.
sure, for sure.
Uh, Wanted to know a little bit more about this path in South Carolina. Like you mentioned, Shadrach, and I know like there's like voodoo and stuff like that in South Carolina. So if then
Yeah.
both of you can like expand on like your experience with like the historical part of these type paths and these what you would call, I guess, some people like you said, like I would have never thought, like, you blew me away when you say you're from South Carolina, and then we
Yeah.
got brother Mythos also is from South Carolina, so
Yeah.
like it blew me away that
Yep.
people would even be exposed to this. I know there was
Yeah.
like doctors and stuff amongst like African American communities and stuff, but I don't
Yeah.
see that as something that's really was put out there. Like it was mostly like, I guess, old people, as far as I know.
Mythos, you want to take this one, bud?
Okay, my mic was going in and out. Can y'all say that one more again? Because my mic has been going in and out.
What he was talking about is what is the influence here in South Carolina? What is that common ground that me and you may have found geographically here in this state? And what are your experiences with that?
Honestly, I see South Carolina as being very like, man, it's very cookie cut. You know what I'm saying? As far as the beliefs and as far as the ideals and stuff like that. But that to me is a perfect breeding ground for like delving into things that are different. You know, when you're surrounded with so much monotony and things of that nature, you kind of just can't help but to learn shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There were a lot of questions I had, you know, about a lot of deeper mysteries and stuff like that. And like, I didn't really have a huge circle. So fortunately, I was, you know, blessed to have people around me that, you know, a few people that were dealing in it. And I was able to get on the path to learn these things for myself. And it was a good thing to learn them myself because it made the learning process a little more personal, you know, a little more intimate, you know,
Right.
because it was like I was so excited because I was like, yo, I'm learning all this deep shit and learning this and that, but it was like I didn't really have an outlet, not really until recently, very recently, to be able to express it. But for so many years, like I couldn't really talk to people, you know, definitely not family. You know, a lot of my friends, they just thought I was bugging out. But South Carolina, man, is like I said, it's just very cookie cut, but it there's still a lot of pockets of information. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of old history with this
Oh
state.
yeah.
And a lot of it is steeped in a lot of esoteric stuff. And, you know, the deeper you go in to finding out these things, like the more the story unravels. So, um, yeah, man, you know, it's been kind of like a gift and a curse kind of a little bit. But
For sure.
one of the sacrifices I had to take was just kind of losing so-called friends and family and stuff because I made the choice. I was like, I'm not turning back. I was like, I don't care if I'm the last person standing. Like, I'm not gonna let go of this stuff because it makes people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Um,
when you push through like that, you find people like us. You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, for sure,
Yeah.
and that's how I know. That's how I know. It's like when that comes down the pipeline, it's like it's authentic because it's so rare. It's like, you know, you find a gemstone, and it's just like, yo, I got to keep this. You know, I got to hold on to this, and you know, no, and I think that's just kind of the universe's way of bringing, you know, collective minds together. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
get put in these chaotic environments and elements and stuff like that to kind of make a harmony, you know, at some point in time of conscious and collective thought. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I definitely feel that vibe. Definitely.
Yeah, and I'll say my experiences. You know, there's definitely a lot of there's actually a lot of folk magic here in
Mm.
South Carolina. There's a lot of old timey juju. You know, there's a
Yeah.
lot of hoodoo and with some voodoo in there. You know, especially down there like Charleston, no North
Hmm.
Charleston. You know, there's
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of voodoo down there. I actually I know of a woman who now my circles called her the voodoo queen of South Carolina. I don't know if that's true or not, but they called her grandma. You know, I don't
Mm.
know if you ever heard of grandma down there in Charleston before, but she'd come up my way to visit my people, my
Mm.
superiors. And this was big shit. She come up in a fucking Cadillac, the cleanest Cadillac you ever seen, boy. I'm talking about old school. You know, it was dope. But yeah, but even even with some of the old Tommy white folk too, there's white people in South Carolina that know what a root dot is. Now I've said previously on your channel that white people have whitewash their spirituality, and that's why I warn white people when they're trying to do ancestral works or things of that nature, that you may not like who you talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's not in a lot of the white people's culture, but then again in South Carolina it is.
The
You
facts.
know,
It really
yeah,
is.
it is because the one thing about South Carolina, like y'all probably say that my accent sounds like, maybe I talk a little Ebonics here and there. Well, it's not even that. It's because I'm from South Carolina. We all talk the same in a
Yes.
sense, and a lot of people have to understand that. But but even me coming from, I like to say I come from a nest of female Scorpios. Like all the women in my family are Scorpios, and I'm the only male Scorpio. I was digging graveyard dirt with my grandparents at like 7 years old. Now, you know, it and maybe that had some influence. And then I had a grandfather that just was divorced 3 times, and all he did was hunt and fish and work. So he would work, and he wanted his grandson to go with him when he went hunting and fishing. So I learned a lot about reality and how nature works during those years, you know. And then I came across the shaman, and how he sort of chose me as a student was he had a book called Animal Speak. I forgot who writes the book. I saw the fucking book today when I went and did that interview with Shalthazan earlier. Um, but I was able to talk about animal omens that you see in nature and knew what the fuck they meant. And he was like, God damn, this kid's only 13, 14 years old. And I've just been fishing and hunting my entire childhood with my grandfather. And he took it to an extreme level. He was what's called a combat tracker in Vietnam. So he would go out and scout and track like a Native American the enemy. And he took those principles that the army taught him and applied them to hunting. Like where I would track deer and rabbit and stuff. Like I can look at a blade of grass. Like for example, you look at a blade of grass in the woods. Grass does grow in the woods, by the way. People don't pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But you'll see that the tip of the grass was bitten off, and it's bitten off like slanted. Well, a rabbit was the one that bit that grass. Or maybe you see where it was clipped off horizontally. Well, a deer was the one that ate that grass. Think small shit like that. And
Yeah.
I can write a book on that. And how he would, or following blood trails was a huge one. And if you shoot a deer way off, pick something high up in a tree, like a branch, to mark where you killed the deer. Because if you pick something low on the ground, as you get closer to where you shot the deer, that shit's going to change, which plays into what Mythos was talking about, and how sun gods are tricksters. What you see in the light isn't always what as it seems.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So these are principles that I knew at a very young age, and then I was taught to put them together in a scholarly fashion, and then I was taught how to actually do it and manifest things, and here we are.
Right on. Right on. So yeah, let's get into this topic, angels and demons. You guys
good.
have the floor. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and let you guys do y'all thing. I'm all ears tonight. I'm learning something. So, yeah. So once again, we got Siberius, the sleeping serpent, and we got Mythos. How do you pronounce it? I don't want to say it wrong.
Well, it's Mythos _ Negrum Draco.
Okay, Negro Jocko. That's why. You got to check out either of those guys.
Yeah. But Mythos is fine. Mythos is actually fine though.
We actually talked about that earlier. I was like, yeah, man, I think Mythos is pretty dope by itself.
Well, right on, right on. So
Appreciate
it. You guys got the floor. So it's all you guys right now. So
okay. Well, as a guest of
Okay,
a
cool.
guest, Mythos, you want to get us started, bud?
Sure, no problem. Let's start it out like this. When we're dealing with those two currents, you know what I'm saying, the angelic current and the demonic current. One of the things that I, was able to put together along the way is that these are frequencies. A lot of times through so much dogma and just religion and all these different things, we come to believe these being separate leagues or separate entities. You know what I'm saying? But I liken them unto like a radio. You know what I'm saying? You have a radio with all these different stations, but if you look, you got AM and FM. There's different broadcasts, but they come from the same instrument. You know what I'm saying? So for myself, I see these two particular currents as just being frequencies. You know what I'm saying? You have like the angelic side, which would be more of the higher vibrational side, and the demonic side, which would be more the lower. And that's just, I think that's just a way that we try to explain it. I really kind of just really group them all together. um I don't really see them as being so separate. I just think they just have different functionalities. And when me and Broski were talking earlier, I made the point, made the example of saying, like, you could take a hammer, and you could take the same hammer, you could build a house, you can build it, you can build shit with it. But you could also take that hammer, you could kill somebody with it. You know what I'm saying? You could,
Right.
you could do some damage with it. And it's still the same hammer. You know what I'm saying? If I go out and commit a murder, which I wouldn't, I'm just saying, with this particular instrument, it's still a hammer. You know what I'm saying? The hammer didn't change its composition or anything. It's still a hammer. And I think it's the same principle applies in these different currents. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people who can say, well, the day side of the tree or the lighter side of the tree is where the angels reside, and the darker side of the cliff-offic tree is where the demons reside. But in all honesty, I look at it as the same tool. It's the same instrument. That tree is still the same tool. You know what I'm saying? It's just different functionalities. I don't really like see like a good versus bad type thing. I think that's more like of a humanistic way of trying to explain something that's very complex in nature. But I definitely see those forces as being frequencies. You know what I'm saying? And you may need different work done for different for different things, and it's just going to be dependent on what that frequency is. Because the funny thing is, you could ask angels for assistance doing certain things, or you could ask demonic influences for the same particular, you know, um, influence. You know what I'm saying? You could ask them for the same particular help.
Right.
So I don't really like see too much of a differentiation. I look at them as formulas. I look at their composition. I look at their their different qualities as just being formulas. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let bro kind of pick up from there. You
For sure, man. So y'all strap in because I'm about to unleash here. Um, so I like to start off with the second hermetic principle of correspondence. Okay, as above, so below, so within, so without. The macrocosm is just like the microcosm. Okay. Now, this tells us that there are. Well, let's look at the physical plane, for example. We can all agree that there are good people that exist. Hopefully, everyone here watching this video is a good person. Okay. We can also agree that bad people exist. Okay. So if it's the same above as it is below, that means that there are good demons, good angels, bad angels. Okay. It's a law of correspondence. So whenever you have a broad spectrum like this, um, you begin to really understand the inner workings. And demons, I like to call them divine spirits of a negative charge. Angels are divine spirits of a positive charge. Okay, just like a pentagram is positive and a inverted pentagram is negative. That's why you see an upside down pentagram to represent the devil, the demons. Okay, now all that doesn't mean evil. It means it's the negative wire on the battery of your car. Positive is the positive wire on the battery of your car. Okay. Now, when it comes to working with angels and demons, now this is first-hand experience. Okay. Um, I always say that demons work on credit. That's why they call it making a deal with the devil. Like you go make a deal at the finance office. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I'll give you this if you do this for me, and then I'll give you the rest, or I'll make payments. Okay. That's like I said, like making a deal with the devil, this offering, then the devil does this, but then you owe the devil your soul. Okay. But it doesn't have to be your soul. This is just something that people say, but it is the same concept. Now, one thing that I've learned with divine spirits of a positive charge is that they work, I say jokingly, for cash monies. Okay. That means you got to pay that shit up front. All right. And one thing that I've learned with angels is that payment is usually a sacrifice, and it's a self-sacrifice. Now that I do not know why, but I do know in my practice, what I have learned is that angels are harder and more dangerous to work with. And I told Mythos about this and how I have. Now, I don't know why, but here's the solution that I've come up with in my practice. Okay. It may not be true. This is just firsthand experience. Like I tell y'all, all my shit's firsthand. I'm going to give it to you raw. Okay. No condom. So, get your minds ready. I hope you have a dirty mind. So, because we live in an infinite universe compiled of 3 dimensions, sprinkled here and there with matter that is positively charged, okay? So think about scientists that say that they can create antimatter. That antimatter lasts for like 0.0001238 seconds, okay? And then it dissipates because it's not stable in this positively charged universe, okay? In reality, that negative wire on your battery isn't a true negative, or it wouldn't exist. It's more like a ground, okay? Now, electricians will know what I'm talking about when I say that. But just like my hand is positively charged and your face is positively charged, and I can walk up and smack shit out of you. In essence, so can angels. So demons being negatively charged, truly negatively charged, they have to, through the quantum doorways, interact with you in the many different mundane facets of your life. Does that make sense? I don't know if I can put that in any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kid, gotta pay the devil back. That's funny. Well, let me go over to the chat here real quick, because my boy Nikosi MP said that these currents are in all of us. Well, he's absolutely right. When you breathe in and breathe out, there's your positive and negative. Your veins and your arteries is the positive and negative wires in your body. It's the yin and yang. That's all it fucking is. Okay, good and evil is subjective. Darkness and negative do not mean evil. And when I say this, it means that, like Mythos example with the hammer, you can use a hammer to build and you can use a hammer to destroy. Yeah. Well, good, evil, light, dark, positive, and negative are 3 totally separate polarities that do not connect with one another at all. You can have a sentient being that has any combination of those 6. Okay. So that means that you can create something for evil and you can destroy something for good. we all know this, you know, but it's putting it into practice and remembering this whenever you're trying to make sense of this crazy fucking reality that we live in.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, go ahead, Mythos. You got something?
It's just something that just kind of came through. But one thing, because we can like chop it up about so many differentiation different aspects of these two particular currents, but like one of the
Right.
things that I think is the glue to them is that they're both interdimensional beings. And I think that is something that is really like the unifying element to those two different currents is the fact that they are not in this dimension. You know what I'm saying? And I think we
Right.
can all
That's
agree on that. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, let
So
me back up. When I was talking about, angels work through our mundane everyday life as well. So let me not put my foot in my mouth. But yeah, you're exactly right with that.
yeah, and like because even when it comes down to like ETs, UFOs, and all of these different things like that, like we are dealing with something that is not in our dimension. It's not in our paradigm. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
when we interface with these different spiritual currents, you know what I'm saying, that's basically what they are. It's like they're interdimensional beings. I don't care if it's fairies or ETs or demons or angels or all of these particular things. We can
Yeah.
agree that hey, these are not from our dimension. And I think like I said, there's so much material and dogma that we can like, delve into that says, all of these differentiating facts or whatever, but we can agree that, whatever they are, they're not from here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Um, man, I just had a thought and I lost it. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So when you talk about aliens and these interdimensional beings, yes, they are beings. Okay, they're just like you and me. I think that some of these beings are even native of the dimension that they're from. You know,
Right. Yes. Yes.
just like we're a native of this dimension, not only this dimension, but this little fucking rock that we call Earth. Okay, now,
Right.
so breaking down what an alien is, so we know what life looks like here, carbon-based life that evolved on this planet over the last billion years. But life could be something completely different on another planet. Could be silicon based, could be methane based, could be helium based. Who knows? You know, could be hydrogen based. What? So, if we even saw that alien, would we know that it's a living thing? And that's just here in our universe. And let's talk about other dimensions where time, space, and the laws of physics that build this reality that we experience, they're not dead, they're just beings from another dimension, you know
Right.
and that's definitely playing into what you're talking about, and expanding your mind to accept these concepts. Whew, I mean, Jesus, we don't know a goddamn thing,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Yes, sir. Like we were discussing earlier, bro. Like we were talking about Samael, and Samael is actually mentioned in the Bible.
right.
But Samael is also mentioned in the, more the darker arts as well. You know what I'm saying? In the
Yeah.
Kabbalistic tree, and if you do the kind of the backstory on Samael and his actual like name and things like that, this is a solar deity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the crazy thing is like, and I think that is the case with a lot of these particular spirits, is that they don't just have one functionality. I think that we have that like that day side, night side type thing going on. Like I think even whether it's a daemon or whether it's an angel, I think they have like two sides to a coin. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? They may be known for this particular thing, but I'm pretty for sure, you know what I'm saying, that they have a flip side, and that flip side can be used to, do other types of work. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, the angels of Shem and the Goetic demons, the number of entities in those pantheons is the same. It's 72.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So you
it
can say
is.
there's the positive 72 names of the creator and the negative
Yes.
72 names of the
And
creator.
and to add to that, I want to add to that because I'm glad you mentioned that. That's
Yeah,
very important. That's very important because like I was introduced to some of the angelic stuff through the Kabbalistic tree, and
right,
and that more deals with your chakras. The Kabbalistic tree aligns with the human chakras, the human
right.
body, the prism, the Metatron cube that encapsulates the human light. I mean the human aura, and then when you delve into the 72 Goetic spirits, that goes deeper into the subconscious realm where they say that there lies and exists 72 other hidden chakras that are actually found inside of the pineal gland. And
Mm,
I think that's very interesting because if you look at that on a metaphysical level, that would be the underworld. You know what I'm saying? Your
yeah,
subconscious mind would be the underworld. So,
the lower
I,
realm
yeah,
from a
yeah.
definitely from a shamanic perspective.
Yes, yes, that was a great point. That was yeah.
All right, so let me interject here. All right, now that we've laid the groundwork for our audience, oh man, I'm about to bring up a crazy point. We're talking about working with angels and demons. Okay, we saw how they all have um they're 72, so they have pairs, an angel for a demon. Okay, when it comes to high level, high magic, occult practices and rituals, just like your car has a positive and a negative in order for it to start, just like how you have veins and arteries in your body, you use angels and demons at the same time. Oh shit, Mythos jumped off.
He about to be back in.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
say
Real
what
quick,
now?
real quick before you move on. You was talking about. Oh, he's back in. Oh, my mouse. All right. Yeah, you back in, bro. All right.
Hey,
Okay,
Mythos.
okay. Yeah. I don't know what happened, bro. I'm right near the airport, so like my signal is real crazy right now.
It happens. I was saying that you use the angels and demons at the same time, just like you use a positive, negative wire on the battery of your car, or your body
Yes,
has
yes,
veins and arteries. And that is a crazy concept that people who have these monolithic ideologies where they believe that a coin only has two sides, never given um, credence to the third side, which is the edge, because we live in the third dimension. You've never seen anything with your physical eyes that is two dimensional. Even a piece of paper is three dimensional, even if one side is super thin. You know.
Very
Oh
true.
yeah, he done dropped off again. That's right, Nikosi Impy. That's right. One cannot exist without the other. That is the Hermetic principle of polarity.
right.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
absolutely
he's on it.
agree with that. That's a great point, bro. I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yes,
Like
sir.
I really believe like that these particular currents are all a part of our physical makeup. You know what I'm saying? Because like you mentioned the laws of correspondence. That would have to be the case. You know what I'm saying?
It has to
Regard
be.
if it's even if you're dealing with the angelic order, that particular influx is something that is a part of us. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're a conduit. You know what I'm saying? And even in the lower realms, you know what I'm saying? Because that's my problem with a lot of monotheistic religion is that is it only gives credence to one aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
like false. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't master both of those particular currents, that's an imbalance. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big problem that we see. You can look around and see the imbalance. You know what I'm saying? We don't embrace both aspects properly. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
when you see somebody that is an occultist or is somebody into the darker arts and you're not privy to that, like you're automatically on defense mode. You know, you're
That's
scared.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause you're scared
And
of the unknown. See how it's all
yeah,
tied together?
yes, sir. You
Yeah.
know, but these two currents, they definitely are a part of us. You know what I'm saying? And we are a part of it. You know,
Right.
and this was, I was watching an old Martin Scorsese movie, which I can't remember which one it was. I want to say Goodfellas, but there was a scene in the movie, and I do believe in movie magic, by the way. But there was a scene where Robert De Niro's character like lined up with the Saint Michael statue, and it was like, for me, I got my own message and channel was the fact that, you know what, I was like, that was really symbolic, that was really powerful,
Yeah.
because that was basically saying like he was embodying that Michael, that Michael type energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's basically what happens, is that it's just like you put on a costume. You know what I'm saying? A superhero ain't a superhero without his costume.
That's
And
right.
when you put on these cloaks, or when you put on these different energies and spirits, you actually become it. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much that you're working with Michael, it's more like you're working through. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you are becoming a part of that. And even with like the lower realms or the lower aspects, it's not so much that I made a pact with this particular daemon and I got this whole thing going and all that. It's not really that. It's just that you're allowing yourself to be utilized for a work to come about. Because without
Super,
you,
super relevant what you're saying there, man. And the works that I've done with Mikael or Michael, whatever you want to call that particular angelic entity, is sort of in my own personal archive. So I won't go too deep into that. But what I will say is, instead of that spirit working for you, it works through you. Yeah, you become. I became a hard ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
straight action hero. I don't give a motherfuck. I'm the baddest dude around.
yes, sir.
Um, and that's absolutely true.
Yeah,
And that entity is a hard ass. That's what he's about. A lot of people,
yeah,
you know, believe
yeah,
the stories are true. I'll go ahead and put that out there firsthand. Yeah. I guess it takes a lot for that entity to respect you enough to work with you. Um,
right, right,
but it commands a lot of respect at the same time. You know.
right. Um, yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. And like, because there's so many people that I do kind of encounter and stuff like that, and it's just like they picking these things like cards out of a deck, and it's like I don't really think it works like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like me. Like I'm not the tallest guy out there, so like I'm not gonna jump on a basketball court and think, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah,
you gotta kind of know your lane. You gotta know, you got to kind of have a familiarity, you know what I'm saying,
that's
with
right.
certain energies and certain things that already kind of correspond to your physical and, what I'm saying, spiritual makeup. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
As to have a better success with these particular energies. Like I pretty much for myself kind of know what is going to work for me and what's not. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I've had people make recommendations about stuff, and I'm like, nah, I already know. Like, me and that particular deity, we ain't rocking, or
That's right.
that's just not my lane. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
And that's only because of myself, knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? That I
Yeah.
that I even know or understand that. But essentially, that's basically what you're doing with these particular forces, is that you're putting on the costume, you're putting on the armor, and you're playing it out. You know what I'm saying? But what ends up happening is once you put that costume on, it's like you actually believe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
it becomes very real.
Yeah, it that's you. You know what I'm saying? And now you have the capacity to like do that work. You know what I'm saying?
Now let
And
me ask you this, Mythos. Have you had any experiences with partial possession while you're doing any of your demonic or angelic works?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about
Let's
that. Tell me your experience.
let's go back about 2 years. When I was introduced to Baal. Um, and Baal is a Goetic spirit. Very
You know
old.
that's my patron, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah, okay,
I
go ahead.
I had to call upon him. Just it was a situation I was dealing with, and I kind of needed to kind of get myself out of it without like disappearing physically. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
guess. Let me guess. Was it a financial or judicial problem that you had going on?
Both.
Funny how I know that.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was literal. It was both, dude, and
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
um. And so I did, I've went in full form. I went all out, man. It was I didn't, like hold out or anything. I put it all in and I went all out for this particular invocation of him. And like the channels of information that I was getting were beyond me. But at the same
Mhm.
time, I knew it was only because of me tapping into that. And like, I remember I had like just like a day candle burning that I had inscribed his name on and had some things set up on my altar. But like the crazy thing was even after the candle like went out, like there was nothing in it. Like the shit kept burning. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, and I literally had to ask for permission to blow it out. I was like, is it cool now? You know what I'm saying? And I got that feeling like, yeah, you can, because it was so much information that came through. Like it was like reading a book. It was like reading a fucking dictionary in 5 minutes flat type shit. It was just like you remember how like in the Matrix when Neo was in the chair and he was just like, oh shit, I know kung fu now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those type moments, and I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
and then when I came out of this thing and I was like, kind of trying to talk to a couple people about what I was feeling, like they was like, dude, like what the fuck, like you like filled up with more information than usual. Like what the fuck, So like yeah, it was definitely overpowering. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was intense. I remember and it was at nighttime. I did this thing at night and it was pretty cool, but I was in full sweat, dude. I was sweating from like head to fucking toe.
Yeah.
And like it was, and it was like I wanted to write, then I wanted to listen to music, then I wanted to write some more, then I wanted to read. It was like I just couldn't sit still. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I couldn't, like some deities you work with them, you're able to sit still and meditate and go into, but I like the energy that I was working with through Baal, like I couldn't do that. Like and then it was like this whole thing was like rearrange your altar room. So I was like, oh damn. So like I didn't go to sleep. Like
Yeah.
but it was a good experience. Like it was nothing like I ever felt before. That's how I know Baal is badass. Like Baal ain't no joke. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm, and I guess I'll pick it up here if that's all right with you, bud.
Oh yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Um, Baal was the first spirit to contact me by myself. Okay. I worked with other spirits with other people, but as far as by myself, this spirit came to me. And I honestly can't even remember how he did. Um, one thing that if you follow me on my channels, you'll hear me speak about Baal and how I experienced this particular entity. And he's like a old rich granddad that wants to see you do good, but he doesn't. He doesn't give you anything. He makes you earn it. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've got from him because he's like my old rich granddad that I've always got over my left shoulder, and he's in Baal, Beelzebub. These are all different masks of the same energy. Okay,
True. Very true.
they call him Lord of the Flies. I can attest to this. Now, some say it Lord of all flying things, but I have not seen this to be true. I've only seen Lord of the Flies, especially wasps and hornets and ants and things of that nature. I don't know why. Sounds corny when I say it, but it's fucking true. Okay. For example, um, with my child, I told, because I would see Bael, like he's always like, all right, man, you fucking up. You need to get back on your grind. You need to do this. And it's always like in the form of like a wasp in the house or something. So I told Bael, I was like, listen, hey, granddad, you know what I'm saying? No more things in the house with my kid that can hurt her.
Right.
And as soon as I had this conversation, there was a dirt dauber in the bathroom. Dirt daubers don't sting. People think they do, but they don't. But then when I got to my room where I'm at now in the shop, and this is like upstairs in a giant warehouse, in a little room that we built with drywall, and there's a fucking white-faced hornet in my room, you know? Or, for example, I was supposed to make a little payment. You know, I made a deal. I was like, hey, you know, I give you a super splendiferous offering after. And I did a ritual, and the next day I did $12,000 in tree sales, got half down, so I got $6 grand worth of checks before 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nice.
it was, as an entrepreneur, those kind of things can happen. You know, because I'm exclusive when it comes to sales. But I was supposed to pay on a certain date that exclusive offering, and I didn't. 2 days later, I'm walking this tree job because I cut trees, and two fucking yellow jackets came out the ground and busted my ass and swole my damn foot up. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh man.
you got to be about it if you're gonna be about it. If not, you're gonna
Yeah.
get fucked up.
Yeah, man. And to add to that, it's so funny because like I know what you're saying is on point. Beelzebub is one of his forms is also the toad. And at this particular time, like
Right.
I had a really bad frog problem. But the thing was like it was so crazy because the ones that were outside were fucking toads. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I hate toads. You know what I'm saying? But then after the particular ritual I did, like I was getting a bunch of tree frogs stuck to my damn window.
Yeah.
So, and I remember telling this female about it, and I was like, man, I'm about to just like get something and just kill them and find some kind of. She's like, no, those are good luck. Like she was like, no, she was like, those are like the tree frogs are like they bring money. And this was somebody. This came from somebody that doesn't know that they don't deal with nothing occult. They don't deal with nothing, none of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
Good
knew it.
old. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I knew it was something special, and I was like, okay, so I let them kind of just chill, and I remember one got in the house one time, and
Yeah.
I was like, look, and I had to tell him, I was like, look, you know, I feel you, but I'm feeling you a little too much. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
anything but the frogs, man. Like let's you know, and like maybe a couple weeks later, I remember me and a buddy was sitting in my yard at like 4 a.m. and we saw a gray fox run through the yard, and I was just like, okay, I got it. I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's very earthy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
his messages are gonna be very earthy type things, and like all of those entities, like you were saying, Beelzebub, Baal, even Belez, like all of these are earthy spirits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in any matters of dealing with earthly possessions or like desires and things of that nature, like those are your go-to guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
And I tell you what, you know, and as far as angelic energies, now some people may disagree with me on this. Okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but this is my first-hand experience. I've worked with the Orisha, okay, especially Ogun, Ogun, okay. It is my personal belief. A lot of people say that the Orisha once lived on Earth. I don't believe that. I believe that they are a pantheon of angelic energies that are cosmic energies, and I believe that the African shamans were just the first ones to give those energies names. Okay.
Mm, mm, mm.
Now, working with Ogun, okay, I went to Tower School. Okay. It was a 7-week course. And from the school to where I worked was like a little over an hour. It was from Prosperity, South Carolina, all the way to Graniteville in Aiken, South Carolina. I don't know if you're familiar with that geographically, their Mythos, but
Oh yeah.
it's quite a distance. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So So for 5 weeks, I had to actually go to class all day long. In order for me to do this, I had to work third shift. Okay. So, and it was a swing shift. So it'd be like 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off, kind of weird like that. So within those 5 weeks, I would sometimes go 2 days without sleep, 1 day without sleep. There was a couple 3 days without sleep spurts in there. Okay. And I had to do the driving myself. And I was basically, in order to survive this, I mean, that was a self-sacrifice. And that's why I say angels require self-sacrifice to truly work with them and be indoctrinated in with them. They you know, Ogun helped me through that. Okay. So did Monster Zero Sugar energy drinks, and so did the shaman. Shaman, while I was driving and I felt like I was going to go to sleep, I'd call him up and he talked to me about, you know, metaphysics or just blah 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 blah. And what's so crazy is Ogun being the deity of
lightning.
Yeah, well, no, I think that's
thunderstorm. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
okay.
well, of like metal, you know, of
metalworks, right?
metal
Metal. Okay.
and technology even. So I was basically 2 days no sleep. I climbed my first cell tower, 2 days no sleep. I climbed up 100 feet, and I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? I give credit to that particular energy when it comes to how I got into tower school and got into towers and then towers and spiritual energies. I can get into that real deep as well. But even like technology, like now the chainsaws that I use to cut trees and it being made of metal and things of that nature, you know, that was a huge self-sacrifice. Even to this day, if I go without sleep, I get pissed off because I went so long going without sleep, you know. So that's my personal experience with that particular entity. And I believe that they are angelic. They're angels.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Right. I definitely can concur. I just not too long ago was in the book of Enoch, and I was just trying to do some research on Azazel, and Azazel got like this good rap, bad rap type thing, and what I think is peculiar is that how a lot of bad things get attributed to him, but it's like Azazel taught metalworking. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about early indigenous people fishing and hunting and gathering and doing things like that, you know, they had to learn that skill from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that all of it like coins back to the influence of interdimensional being. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That taught that particular craft to man, so that he could speed up his evolutionary process and so forth. And I think, you know, that is maybe a part of their agenda as well, is to kind of bring us up to speed, you know, and somewhat.
That's right.
You know, so maybe just looking at utilizing them for mundane reasons, like, oh man, I got this bill coming up. I need, we might need to start exploring how do I transfigure? How do I transform into a more upgraded version? You know what I'm saying? That to where I can keep up with the demands of an ever changing, you know what I'm saying, universe, you know? And I think that that's a big part of, you know, their mission, you know what I'm saying, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely. You know, they're not out to, you know, they're not out to the main ones that people work with. They're not out to harm us. You know, they're here to advance the evolution of our species, because we're still, you know, for example, like orange box sneakers here, we're still monkey brained. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we're still we're not as smart as we think we are. You know,
Right.
and And we got a long ways to go, unfortunately. You know,
Yes, sir.
so our job is to open the minds of these monkey brain people, the ones that we can save. You know, some there's just no saving. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the same for everybody. But these different entities and energies that we work with are definitely here to help advance that. You know, because what it does is it opens our minds to to receive these messages and these higher teachings and these enlightenments in order to uh, benefit our neighbors and our family and friends. You know,
Right. And you're gonna have different needs. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have different type of work. And I think like that's the difference between you getting a butter knife for the job of a machete. You know what I'm saying? Like
right?
sometimes you need, it basically the same tool is just, a more upgraded version of it. And I think that's kind of, the mindset that it takes to interface with these two different currents is you got to kind of know what is the job, what is the task or the end game or end result that you're looking for, and that's kind of how I pick and choose which energies that I need to work with. You know what I'm saying? I look at like, what is the qualities, you know what I'm saying? What are the attributes, and is this going to be congruent with my mission? Is this going to be congruent with what I need to get done? You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
look really so much, okay, good, bad, light, dark, or anything like that. I just look at what kind of job this is. Like, and a book that actually helped me out a lot with that was the Encyclopedia of Enochian Magic, which is a grimoire that I got, and it really goes into depth more about the nature of a lot of angelic beings. And what I keep finding is so many similarities to a lot of the night side entities as well.
Yeah.
It's just through dogma that we see the lighter halo and wings and all of the fluffy stuff, but it's like they get down too. You know what I'm saying? Like they can get
Oh,
down
most
too.
definitely. They'll fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
man.
tell you what, whenever I was in that contract with Ogun, I'll tell you, I committed one unrighteous act, and I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm gonna tell it to teach a lesson. I was 2 days no sleep. I had to go into work in a fucking hot plywood factory all goddamn night, and but I was really into like uh, downloading movies off the internet, and I wanted to get like 128 gig stick drive, and I went into Walmart and I fucking stole 3 of them. Okay, I
Oh
stole them.
man.
Didn't pay for them. Right. Uh, very not cool. You know, I don't do that shit no more. You know, but this is what I did. And I
Mm.
walked out to my car, and I'm delirious now. I'm 2 days no sleep. I'm pissed off at the world. Got to fucking climb a tower in the morning. Got to work all night. I got to sustain off of Wendy's and fucking Monster energy drinks. You know, like I'm not like, man, my body. I mean, I scarred myself doing that shit, but I survived it. Sometimes I thought I wasn't going to, falling asleep, veering off the road and shit. Anyway, so I walk out to my car and I go to back out, and there's this young Hispanic fella. There's in this particular town, there's a lot of orchards and stuff, and there's a lot of Hispanic people that they get off work and they get paid. It must have been a Friday, and they was in there getting their groceries and stuff and taking care of their family, which they do a great job doing, to be honest with you. Um, and I went to back out, and there was like he must have been 18, 19, young Hispanic guy in a truck. And instead saying, "Excuse me, bud, you think you can move out the way?" I was like, "Hey, man, you think you can get out the way? Huh?" And then he was like, "Fuck you, man." And I was like, "Your mom's a hoe." Like, I was pissed. I was ready to fight, even though I shouldn't have been. So, "Your mama's a hoe." He said, "Your mama's the hoe, SA. I bet you won't get out." And then when he said that, I popped out that motherfucker, and he popped out. And I was surprised by his willingness to fight. Okay. He came running at me full speed, and he couldn't fight. Now, I'll say this: I was a lot older than him. He was a small guy, and he jumps on me, starts wailing at me, and I'm wailing at him. I get on top, and we're punching in this, and his buddy comes in, tries to knee me in the head. There's a bunch of little Hispanic women. Please stop it! No, the police are coming! The police are coming! So I go to get up. I catch him in the mouth. He kicks me in the face, and he tries to get in my car, and I grab him, and I got him in a headlock. And then I look around, and there's like 15 Hispanic people there. And like, please, the police are coming. And I just grabbed the back of his head and pushed him towards his mom or somebody. And I said, I'll fucking kill all of you, or some crazy shit like that. And I got in the car and left. But the lesson is not that I won the fight or lost the fight. What really won the fight was the goddamn asphalt. Okay. I don't know if you ever fought on the streets and rolled around in the streets, but the asphalt gets its blood tax, and the asphalt always wins. And that was basically my blood payment for being a shithead, you know? So my motto being that the righteous are divine, knowledge is the power, is very serious when I say that. Please don't forget that the righteous are divine, you know, because if you go down these paths and you don't act right, the consequences can be severe.
Yeah, that's true. And another thing too, I think it's the more that you learn the consequences and stuff, like you said, like you knew what happened. Like,
yeah.
I think the more that you learn, the more like you notice stuff like that. Say like a person that don't think about that, don't know anything spiritual or anything.
That's right, Killer. Most people, okay, especially your atheists and things of that nature, they'll put it in the coincidence jar, even if there's like 10 coincidences back to back. You're like, well, I guess it's that 1 in a billion chance that just lined up perfectly, and it just keeps fucking lining up. I mean, it just, you know, and it's still meaningless to them. Yeah, you throw it. I call that the coincidence jar. Yep. Damn, what happened to Mythos?
Oh, he dropped out again. Oh, shit.
Damn.
One question I had, too, about... Oh, damn.
The coach, the MP, that's funny, man. He'd say he knocked my ass out. Shit, that asphalt is what won. Shit.
Yeah, man. So
I had to go to work all bloodied up.
So, do you think these things are these spirits, angels, demons? Are they really a part of ourselves? Like everybody has these things already in them, and what you tap into, is it something that's outside of you or something that's inside of you, or a little both?
Excellent question. Okay.
Are they actually beings, or is it like you would say, like energies or frequencies?
I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm going to answer it beautifully. Okay. Now, as you climb the pyramid to divinity, and the spirits know this, and powerful occultists know this. Okay. I guess the Gnostic term for if you take all sentient minds and you combine them together, it forms a Braxis. Okay, the sentient creator. So basically, when I say physically that we are stardust, we are the universe observing itself. Now, through my own mathematical equation, I can tell you that at least the positive masculine side of God is the universe. Okay, our universe is mental. Our universe is conscious. Okay, that's how the quantum law of observation is even able to exist. Okay, so as you climb I call it the pyramid of divinity, all these beings, they begin to become one until you're just at the one creator, the source, the ether, the nothing, the everything. Okay, so to answer your question, it's a yes and a no. Okay, now for the Orisha or most of the Goetia, I would say, and I say that carefully. I do believe that they are foreign. However, you have those same traits within yourself. You know, whenever you, well, I think the word is apotheosis, where you, I guess, you shed your own identity, and everything becomes possible to you. Okay, you have all these different traits, and having these different traits is sort of like how you have receptors for THC and opiates. You have a receptor for this particular archetype, and working with this archetype that could be foreign or could be an egregore. Okay, but I prefer to work the ones that are actually real. Um, Basically empower that receptor for that particular energy, like we're radios and we're picking up certain stations.
Yeah. Huh. So you're saying like it's a little of both, and these things like how like we talked about sigils.
Mm-hmm.
With sigils and invoking and evoking these entities, energies or frequencies. How what like you said, like it's that the symbols or whatever are beacons. Now I know that from what I learned and stuff like research or whatever, that you can create your own sigils with, I guess, words or whatever for whatever energy you're trying to contact. Those, how can I put this? Like what is this? Like you using a symbol to bring in this energy.
Yeah.
Are you working to create this energy, or is that energy looking for your call, or like you said, it's a little both. But like I guess you say if you're doing something to bring in this energy,
Yes.
or create the energy to use.
Right.
Like you're creating, bringing something from outside, and what you're doing, this thing noticing it, like you said, like a beacon, like this thing notices it, and now it's coming and like, hey, what you want?
Yeah, I would say that. And when it comes to creating sigils, okay, you can look at my sigil. You know, it's partially shown in uh, my little sphere here, my little circle. You know, where I'm talking. That's my sigil for me. That is the sigil that represents my brand of who I am as a person. Okay. And the sigil form, that is the equation for me, just like the cross is for Jesus, or you know, Baal has a really cool one with the oval with the crosses and the circles. You know, and there's so many different sigils out there, you know. So there are the ones that everyone knows. So we mentally, so everybody mentally connects that sigil with that particular energy. Okay. And I guess when it comes to creating your own, that is that is something where your will and your desire, your connection with a particular energy and your intuition is being scrutinized by logic and reason, as you create this sigil for a particular energy. And then there has to be some sort of sign of agreement that this, it's like, hey, Killer B, do you want this phone number right here? And you're like, yes or no. It's kind of the same thing. It's just like the law of correspondence. You know, what you're asking is like, so is it cool if I hit you up on the cell phone or email, or hit you up on what you want me to hit you up on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just start this Sigil Hill player. You know what I'm saying? It's the same shit. It's nothing different. But in the symbolism of a sigil, you know, there's a lot of math involved, and different numbers mean different things. And as far as I'm concerned, this may not be true for other people, but I like there to be a reason behind every single centimeter of everything that I do. I have to be able to explain and prove the reason why I am doing what I'm doing. For example, like you see the six-pointed star in my symbol there, and there's a circle with another circle inside.
Yeah.
That's symbolism as above, so below. It's not the Star of David. It's symbolism as above, so below, in being witness or being able to observe both. You know?
Right. Like,
And even the number 6, representing chaos, which represents negative, which represents the left-hand path, meaning that I am naturally a negative, left-hand path kind of guy. I'm not evil. I'm very good, but I'm negative. You know?
yeah. With, say, like, for example, sigil for Baal, right? Would you be able to contact that same energy with, say, your own symbol, with your own symbol?
Well,
Like
see,
you don't know Baal, or you never heard of him, but you want that energy that he represents. And
with my, if I've never heard of Baal, but I somehow knew my own sigil, and me throwing that sigil down would bring in Baal.
yeah, and
Uh,
had a thought, I just lost it.
Now, does me and Baal still have our connection in this hypothetical universe that we've created here?
Like you said,
Because that matters.
when you're creating your own sigil, a lot of that is your own, like, intuition or whatever you doing. It's like, it's all like, right.
We have to think about it like this. Let's say someone somewhere on Earth drew my symbol for whatever reason, and I mean, it's kind of like looking for videos on your YouTube. You just come across some shit. If he just came across that person and he dug what they were doing and dug the symbol that they were creating, which just so happens one out of infinite amount to be my symbol, you know, maybe there could be some sort of connection there. But you know, in this reality where I have a close bond with this particular energy, if you in this reality were to throw my symbol down, you know, Baal might be like, hey, throwing my boy's symbol down, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I'm trying to, like, maybe get, I just have a problem putting words together, but say, like, with somebody that prays, right? For, say, they got a certain issue, right? And the motherfuckers is praying on it, right? And the shit get done, right? Now, somebody else might have a sigil, or somebody else might burn some candles or whatever. Is it the same thing? Is it like your willpower? Is the majority of this thing your willpower and your intent?
Absolutely. Okay, so praying is white magic. Okay, committing, or we'll say making deals with spiritual entities is black magic. Okay, so what you're saying is, I mean, and it's on the same spectrum. It's just polar differences. Praying is white magic. That's where you're asking a particular spirit or entity to help you. So you're like, hey, Siberius, can you pick me up in the morning and take me to work? I'm like, you know, and if I say yes, then I decide to help you. If I say no, then you're gonna have to find someone else. So if you pray to a certain spirit or entity and they decide to help you, then you get help. Okay, if it's within their capacity. But if you're like, hey, Siberius, now this is black magic. Hey, Siberius, I'm gonna give you $50, man, if you come pick me up and take me to work in the morning. I'm like, don't worry, man. $50 sounds good. I'll be there. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come pick you up, but then you got to give me that $50. Because if you jump in the car and I start driving off, you ain't got that $50. Yeah, you about to be fucking stranded because you didn't bring up your end of the bargain. You're gonna get fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I only got $40.
Yeah, nah, motherfucker. The deal was 50. So I'm gonna take you 4/5 the way to work. How about that?
All of a sudden, that 10 slide out.
Yeah.
Too late now. Now you got an attitude and shit. So you're gonna have to hear some shit the rest of the way there. But skew it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna give you a earful of shit. Like, motherfucker, you better have my other 10. And see, that's what it'd be like too. Now that could happen too. Okay, so you're short 10. All right, I'm still gonna take you to work, but you're gonna owe me this 10. But see, the spirits don't have to worry about the police coming knocking on their door. They don't care about fucking you up.
Yeah.
But this is a case by case basis, just like it's with. Gotta remember, law of correspondence. We might as well be talking about people because it's the same shit. It's a person to person, case by case basis.
Josh asked the question.
Yeah, that's where the symbol came from. Well, we were talking in extreme hypotheticals. If we're talking about in this world, where you're talking about my particular sigil that you see here in my little circle there, my thing is, since Bael doesn't have a physical mouth to ask that question, do you have enough Mac to pick up that question through different signs and omens in order to answer it? How are you going to receive that question without not having enough occultic experience to basically speak the language strong enough to even receive such a specific question?
Wow.
Because Bael doesn't have a physical form. He doesn't have a voice. Okay, what you hear my voice because I'm breathing out and it's vibrating my vocal cords, creating a sound, you know? Bael doesn't have that. He's a spiritual entity. He can take any form. So you have to learn the language. You have to learn to read the omens, the signs, the little coincidences that normally go in the coincidence jar. But instead of going in the coincidence jar, you put it on the table and you study it. And then you study the next one, then you connect the dots. You know, that's a good way to put it.
So they'll communicate through, I guess, like feelings, and can communicate through physical things.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. That's how it does. You've heard me say that spirits contact or appear or contact or make themselves known 99.99% of the time through either nature or technology. Okay.
That's what I speak a little bit more on with the technology.
Well, it's sort of like this. Let's say you had a thought about something. Let's say you thought about, I don't know, dinosaurs. Okay, you thought about dinosaurs, but you never put nothing in your search bar. You never Googled dinosaurs. You never mentioned dinosaurs. You didn't even speak about dinosaurs. This was just a thought in your head, okay? But the next day, you get on your fucking YouTube and there's a video about dinosaurs, and you're not even subscribed to no channels about dinosaurs. Right. That's an example. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense, and that happens a lot. I know it
Yeah,
happens.
it happens a lot. Hell yeah. Because you remember what I said on the channel about darkness, about when you observe something, that it acts as a structure, and when it's not being observed, it's a wavelength. And just like how sound waves are entering the speaker in this phone, and then there's radio frequencies that's going to a cell tower, and then there's more radio frequencies going up to a satellite, and then back down to the cell towers closest to all that are hearing my voice now, are waves. And what is transferred on waves but data, information, knowledge, things? Okay, so that is how magic works along these waves. Like I said in the video, anyone that's ever had work from a root doctor, and he tells you to do whatever, I don't know, burn a candle or make an offering at a grave in a graveyard. And when he says, when you're walking out, don't turn around. This is even, I forgot the Greek myth, but this is even in some myths. I'll have to come back to that. But he tells you not to turn around, because when you turn around, you're going to disrupt that wavelength that's where the spirits are able to interact and make things happen. That's kind of the best way I can put it.
How do you think things can communicate, or can you invoke these energies or spirits through music?
Absolutely. One of my most secretive and most powerful energies that I sort of keep to myself, I discovered through music.
How could you say, like, kind of explain that?
So I was listening to a song, and there was in the hook, it was in the hook, and they were saying some words, okay? But the way that those words sounded to me, they sounded like the words they were spoken, but then I sort of went into a trance. Mythos said his phone died. He might jump back on.
Okay.
I just got a text from him. He ought to know better than that. I'm plugged in as we speak. But but I sort of went into a trance, and these words began to say something else.
I know.
And then I followed the bunny trail. You know what I'm saying? I followed the crumb trail after that. And you do this through your intuition, okay? The spirits know what sort of signs you're going to respond to, and what these signs are going to make you, how they're going to make you feel, and how you're going to think. So they try to speak to you in a way that you understand. Like, for example, whenever I do tarot cards, I use regular playing cards, and they know that I have a specific language of my own device, and they speak through this language.
Like, I kind of know what you're talking about, from fucking with shit I ain't supposed to be fucking with.
Yeah. Josh, there's let me answer Josh real quick, if you don't mind, please, Killa. I'm not the only one that works with Bael, so I'm not sure. I would like to think so, because I work with this particular energy quite a bit. But if you were able to understand, if Bael was confronting you about why you would be using my symbol, I would hope that you would even be able to receive that message. But I'm just not sure. Me and Bael will have to talk about that one later.
All right.
Very specific question. I appreciate it.
The Cozy, if you still watching, you got any question? I don't know if you have one or I'll open the panel too. If anybody
Open it up. Open this motherfucker up.
All right, there's the link. Anybody want to come in? I know Mr. Orange. What's his name? Orange Box Sneakers and shit.
Yeah. I want him to jump on. I got some shit for him.
So Orange Box Sneakers, they go to link.
Hey, Orange, bring your bitch ass on.
Oh shit. We got the cozy if you want to come on. Mythos should be back on here, so
yeah. Definitely cozy, man. You seem pretty cool, man. Feel free to jump on, buddy.
Here, but yeah, all this stuff is like pretty interesting, and a lot of it makes sense from experiences with fucking with shit I ain't supposed to be fucking with, like I said before, you know, like the thing with the music.
You know, that seems to be the status quo with most people. You know, they think it's all fun and games till you get in a little over your head, then it's too late. You know, then you're like, oh, this shit, I was just playing around. This shit's real. You know what I'm saying? Like the other shit that I'm fucking with, I ain't supposed to be fucking with. Like, I was an expert, right? And I go the other shit, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, wow. I was like, this shit here ain't cool. This shit here ain't cool. And like, it was crazy. Like, it's bugged out. And I totally believe, like, it's not all your motherfucking imagination. No. It's not. It's just like that dude who lied to get out of my house. You know, he thought he was about it until he saw that there's levels to this shit. You know.
Yeah, like I still like shit. Like, you know what I mean? That shit fit right in the back of your head. Like, you know, like you think about that shit like quite often. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you do, because you're like, man, did I see that? And that's one thing too. You know, a lot of people will get into the occult and they'll make a deal with a powerful spirit like Lucifer or Satan or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, man, I'm fucked. And then they get what they want. Like, yeah, I'm number one. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. This was all me. That shit don't exist. And then they get fucked up. Because they get, you know, the mundane world or everything that you can see and touch and feel, et cetera, it's very easy to forget that there's other things beyond excuse me, other things beyond the mundane reality that we are experiencing as we're talking now. And it's quick to change people's minds. You know, people might run to the occult to, you know, escape. They might do it because they think it's cool. They might even do it to pick fun, you know.
yeah.
And people will forget, and your faith is tested extremely by the mundane reality, because these are energies that you can't see and experience all the time. To be honest and quite frank, I've been studying a lot lately. I haven't had any supernatural, or what you would call supernatural, experiences in quite some time, and probably about like 3 or 4 weeks, you know. And that may be extremely recent to some, but for me, that's an extremely long time, you know.
Yeah, when your mind gets in tune to it and stuff like that.
That's right. And I do cycle in and out, because, you know, your 3-dimensional physical brain and mind, you know, it when you're dealing with these cosmic energies, it does take its toll. And so it's just like steroids. I cycle on and off.
Channeling. What do you think about channeling?
I think that is an extremely now what exactly, now there's different types of channeling, so please extrapolate on what you mean by channeling.
Just like people like the mainstream of what people will call like channeling. Like I guess like somebody said, like I knew a kid whose mother, so-called psychic or whatever, and like I guess you like be channeling or speak to like dead people, like dead relatives, or channeling a certain uh, entity. I don't know about the different types of it, like but
Okay, well,
like
I got you, buddy.
I look at once in a while and stuff, and he's
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. He might be on my thing now. Nah, I'm not on YouTube right now and stuff. It usually pops up with my notifications and shit. He's like fucking mad weird. Like he lives in like a van, like a little like RV and shit. He just goes from place to place, and at night he just bugs out and shit, and just starts channeling and shit. Like his old videos were cool, but now he just like bugged the fuck out. Like he some Indians or some shit, and they fucked him up. Gave him to that shit.
Yeah, that can happen.
It seems like to me, like.
So channeling, actually, I fucking lied. I had a supernatural experience a couple nights ago. I did a tarot reading at about this time, and one of my antiquities spoke up for the first time ever. Like I didn't get shit from this artifact since I've had it, and it spoke up. And it's crazy that I didn't even think about this when I was talking about supernatural experiences. This was extremely supernatural. When you talk about channeling, especially whenever every time that I do a divination, I'm channeling. Okay.
I can see it.
Yeah, and it can be something subtle, like some things that I don't normally do, like maybe the way my eyes look, maybe it's the words I choose to say. Subtle though, very subtle. I don't take on the persona of something completely and utterly different. I'm still me. I'm still at the helm, sort of speak. But there are subtle differences, and on the client that I had, I totally even forgot about this. I saw when the client's face changed when they saw that the particular energy that was being channeled, whenever they saw that energy was present and it was being channeled through me, as I had the cards laid before us, and so yeah, channeling is. I mean, every time I do a reading, I'm channeling.
Tarot. You spoke about tarot. I know there's different types of tarot.
Right.
Is that more of a mathematical thing, or like how would you like explain that, how that works?
So for me, it's extremely mathematical. Okay. So one thing that I'm sure all of us can agree with, by our firsthand personal experiences, and I love to ask this question to people who are stuck on some sort of religion and doctrine like the Torah or the Bible or whatever, is that people lie. We can all agree that people lie, right?
Yeah.
Men as a whole lie. Okay. Guess what doesn't lie? Numbers. Numbers don't lie. Everything that I do in the occult, I can break that shit down to numbers. So for me, as someone who prides himself on authenticity and firsthand experiences, numbers are extremely important. The math of it all is extremely important. Some people, they just go through the motions, and whatever they read on their little pamphlet that this card means what, they'll stick with that. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I got to have the cosmic knowledge to back up what these numbers means in these suits that have been um what's the word I'm looking for, assigned a particular element which also has a meaning in more ways than one. You know, and I'm not about to give my entire formula away because that's my secret sauce.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's extremely, extremely detailed and mathematical.
What else about Tar? It is there. So basically, Tar is more of a more complex form of divination, right? Because usually, like a yellow, right?
It's a more complex language in which you can speak with spiritual entities. You know, it's a form of divination. There's other forms of divination like pendulum. Even a Ouija board is a very crude form of divination. But yes, tarot is just like how the English language has many words and sentence structures and the way that we say things. Tarot opens up more possibilities to get points across based on your internal language and what the cards mean, and the spirits know this and they speak through your internal language. So yes, you are correct on that.
Does it take someone that's experienced to deal with tarot? Because I know tarot cards, like you could buy them like any like little store usually and stuff like that. Like they're like more like a novelty item.
Right.
Like
I would say the more experience the better. It's just like doing anything else. The more you got to do it for one, but you got to remember, you got to be able to trust yourself and your intuition by scrutinization and logic, you know, because you could essentially think that you're channeling some spirit to help you with this divination, and you're just channeling yourself through some sort of egregore that by your imagination you have manifested, just like what Mythos was talking in his video. So understanding these concepts and being able to distinguish what's an egregore or a self-mental manifestation versus the true foreign energy that you're trying to work with is a huge step that you have to learn to differentiate one from the other.
That now, how would you recognize the difference in that? That's kind of like what I was getting with like all my questions and stuff.
Okay, yeah. So so again, your intuition comes into this, but you have to learn to differentiate what's a thought and what's a foreign thought, you know. But there's also going to be different vibes or feelings, even physical omens. It could be an ant crawling across the table. It could be, you know, a bird landing on the windowsill. It could be a commercial that reminds you of something. I don't know, anything coming on the TV across the room, you know.
Right.
So being able to read these omens, and for those that are sensitive, I mean, it could be a voice in your head. It can be even something audible. For me, it's not, but maybe for others it is. You know, everyone is different and everyone has different gifts and abilities, and we're all spiritual beings and we all have spiritual gifts, and it's up to you to exercise these gifts and to make them better and stronger. For me, it's always my intuition, visible omens. I don't normally hear things unless it's some sort of omen through some form of nature that I can hear, or some sort of technology that I can hear. For example, like a TV commercial or a part in a movie that I've I've known but I've forgotten, and it reminds me. And last time I even gave that part in that movie any conscious thought, I was 8 years old, and since I was 8 years old, something may have happened to you at 8 years old that reminds you of the message that the spirit is trying trying to give you. You know, it can be something as complicated as that.
I wanted to ask Mythos about the Enochian magic some more, so I hope he can get
Yeah.
those up. So, from my understanding, it was something that came to a person, and whatever entity or whatever gave him these symbols or whatever, because it looks like a really complex like system.
And what is the occult in general, or tarot reading, or what?
I was talking about the Enochian magic, but the cozy, you come on if you want.
Yeah, or how do we increase intuition? I mean, it's the same way as increasing your muscle size. You got to work at it, man. You got to work it. You got to work. One way to increase your intuition is tapping in. For me, anyways, is tapping into your animal instincts, or trusting that gut feeling and learning what that feels like, and allowing your instincts and that gut feeling to evolve into your intuition. That was sort of the channel in which I grew my intuition. I grew it through my instincts. Your animal side, ooh, nothing's happening yet, but I got a bad fucking feeling. My spidey senses are tingling. You know what I'm saying? So practicing that and becoming comfortable with that, and learning how certain things feel good, bad, or just weird and bizarre and awkward, you know, and
Right.
learning how that feels, and exercising that until it becomes a full-fledged spiritual ability.
Like I'll experience something that it'll tell me like, okay, don't go there.
Yeah.
Go there.
There
right?
you go.
But
That's it.
Then there's this thought that say, don't go there. And it don't sound official. Like,
it's kind of like man, I ain't got my condom. Something tells me I shouldn't put my wiener in this girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I really want to, but something's telling me not to, you know?
But there's two different kinds. Like, it's the kind that's like official, like, and then there's the what kind it comes in your head. But like, you think about it, maybe I shouldn't go there. But
yeah, you know,
it is like, don't go there. But the other don't go there is like, motherfucker, don't go there. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I would definitely say that the spiritual things are always the ones. It's always the official one. The mental one is your subconscious telling you, okay, we know better because of logic, because we're smart, and we see the cause and effect. You know, that comes from being smart and having common sense. But some things, you know, it's the things that have no cause and effect because they don't exist on this realm, is where that official one comes in. So for spiritual things, I would trust that official intuition.
Right. Yeah, and like you start to feel like gauge it, like, okay, how serious is this? Because sometimes I'll be like, oh, it'll something to say something, and I'll be like, nah, I'll be straight. Like, it's not poking me enough. And something might have happened that was minute that I just didn't really pay any attention to. And then there's sometimes like when you go anywhere and you see what, okay, this motherfucker said don't go here. Like, you see, and like you said, like you gauge like how much, like, is it real or is it something that's in your head? Like something just popped in your head to say, oh, you shouldn't go there. But that's not something really trying to tell you not to go there. The coach said, can you differentiate between thoughts and intuition? Yeah, that's kind of like,
make that one the headline. We'll talk about that. So let me get my thoughts together here. This is a tricky one. This is something that I don't think you can only teach yourself. It's not something that anyone can teach you, because I don't know how your mind works. Like for me, for example, I'm extremely right brain, left-handed, left foot. If I was a kick you, I'm gonna probably kick you with my left foot, you know. And so for me, you know, my mind is different than someone who's right-handed. And like for me, I'm very visual and creative. So understanding how your mind works and your thought patterns and being able to have enough humility to understand your thought patterns, okay, but then all of a sudden you got some weird ass fucking thought that just came from like the top left of your brain, like it fell out the sky and right into your mind. And it's completely bizarre and something that you never would have, that you know, based on your patterns and how your mind works and things that you're interested in that you never would have thought of in a million years. So it's basically, I can't, I myself cannot tell you whether that is your thought or something that came from a foreign, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Having a brain fart here. A foreign origin, like from a different deity or spirit, what have you. So it's up to you to differentiate and 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 I guess, you know, that foreign thought uh is like a proposal. If you like the proposal, I would go with it, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got any more questions?
Anybody want to jump on? Looks like Mythos is Dunsky's.
Come on, Nicozy, hop on.
You asked some great questions, man.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I
another
really won't. I
burning.
really want Orange Box Sneakers jump on.
Yeah, well,
I'll burn his ass up.
earlier when you first came out, oh, they go Nicozy. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What up? What up? What up?
What's going on, man?
It's chilling, brother. That's it, man. Continue on what you were saying, though, brother. I was listening to you.
Yeah. I had come to a completion. You got any more questions, man? Or
Well, it was interesting. You said that you had worked with Ogun, right?
yeah.
So did you learn that from the people, from the traditional people in your community? Are you still able to communicate with that entity?
Okay, so yes and yes. Okay.
Gotcha.
I would say that it kind of gets kind of personal,
Right.
into some things I don't want to really get into,
Yeah,
but
I can do that.
I'll just leave it at yes and yes for that.
I can do that.
Yeah, it's it and I think, you know, the very, you know, instead of having a disagreement sort of punch you in your mouth sort of vibe that Ogun has,
Right.
from working with this particular entity, I shared some of those brutish traits, you know, and I think it's why I was able to work with this particular energy so well, you know, especially hanging and banging on cell towers and fucking cutting giant big ass trees down and shit, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And having that extreme masculinity to be able to accomplish these things and to utilize these tools of iron to accomplish these goals, you know, it definitely corresponded with that particular energy.
Right. I can dig that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah, man, for sure. You know, and people, you know, man, I climbed towers of iron. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Think about what a cell tower is. Yeah.
I've been there, bro. I do the same type of thing. I ain't hitting no cell towers, but I done climbed enough telephone poles and
There you go. You already know the deal then.
yeah, I know what time it is. So I know everybody can't do it. So I can imagine how powerful that spirit is because they want to get the job done. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. You know, a lot of people based on their ethnic background, you know, think that they know these entities, and I'm not saying some of them don't,
Right.
but some of them don't. You know what I'm saying? They only know what they've been taught.
Right. Right. It's
Yep.
a lot of ignorance that go into it, man.
Oh, for sure.
They think it's a play thing, but it's not a play thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Hey,
something it's not something that you play with.
he likes blood. Put it that way. I'm gonna
Oh
leave
yeah.
it at that. You
Oh
you
yeah.
motherfuckers go out and learn.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
had a aunt, man, that did some shit in Trinidad, and whatever she
Yeah.
did, it followed her to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And she came up missing for a few days. They found her. She was, thankfully she was alive, but just there's certain shit you just don't fuck with.
Yeah, that's true. Unless, a lot of people think they got the Mac with to handle certain energies. That's like, you know, debating the wrong person or getting in the ring with the wrong person or disrespecting the wrong person is actually a huge one, because people, like I was saying earlier, think that they want to get into the occult, and then when it's time to pay the piper, they want to, I was just bullshitting. That shit don't exist. Yeah, then you get fucked up.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you didn't summon that energy. And that
Yeah,
energy
yeah.
want to be, and that energy
Yeah,
need to
yeah. You done told me you're gonna give me $50. Now we here at work. Where's my $50 at?
yeah, it's time to run it. Run that
Yep,
dope.
that's right. Yeah, for sure.
Run it. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
When you speak of like the for instance, like Ogun and Yemen Yah, and with a lot of black people who've been separated from that culture, that for those that do come from that culture, do
Yeah.
those entities ever do they want us to seek them?
Man, the law of correspondence once again. Okay. A lot of people get hung up on cultures and traditions. I don't, because all that's man-made. I
Right.
see I see these as cosmic energies. Yes, African shamans were the first ones to give these particular energies names, and people tend to claim them as their own because they're maybe have ancestry to the Yoruba people of Nigeria,
Right.
But see, when you get into the upper echelons of the occult, there's something called an archetype. Okay.
Okay.
So let's think of like Shango, where
Right.
he's like the god of thunder. Well,
Right.
so is Thor. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as you climb, like I said, that pyramid of divinity, those two entities, as they climb higher and higher, they become the same thing.
Hmm.
Just like I'm God, I am a god, and so are you.
Right.
And as you get higher and higher to the source, we begin to become one. So understanding this concept, all that culture this and race this, it means fucking nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it
Yeah.
truly does. And
Yeah,
it's
it
like
truly
I'm
does.
white and you're black and you choose to be my friend and speak to me. Well, the Nordic pantheon can work through you just like the Orisha can work through me because
Yeah,
they choose
absolutely.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, but we in such a racist culture, you know what I'm saying, that
Oh man.
we
So
see everything as black and white, you know what I'm saying? And you try
it's
to
so
apply that to the
retarded.
spirit world, it don't apply to the spirit world, man.
Yeah, it really doesn't. You're nothing but a vessel. So it's like, oh, I only drive white trucks. I don't drive black trucks. Yeah, why? What if that shit, there's what does it matter if it's white or black or red or blue or whatever? It
Right.
does not matter. We are a vessel, that contains a spirit. If when it comes to reincarnation, you could have been white at one point. I could have been black at one point. You could have been a fucking alien on another planet that's still within this universe,
Right.
Just because we don't have the technology to go to the next star system and see what kind of life forms are on those planets over there does not mean that they do not exist.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely, man. I heard a Lakota brother say that his mother said that just because you can't see the roots of the tree don't mean that the roots don't exist. But the
that's
fact that
right.
the tree is there lets you know something existed is sustaining that life. So, we've been trained to be so close-minded about a lot of things, man.
Yeah,
About a lot of things, man. It's like this religion thing, it got such a hold on people's mind
Oh man.
Talk like this, you a devil. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I'm sure people are going to hear this and condemn me. I've already had people on Killer Bees channel tell me I need Jesus, and they don't even know. I'll school them on Jesus.
Right. Right.
So let me put you on this game, okay? So we're talking about, you know, just because you can't go to another planet doesn't mean that that planet don't exist, and have life forms that, or that maybe you could possibly, when you die, reincarnate to, if you're not ready to ascend to the to the ether, to the source, or whatever. So and why this is because time space or relativity does not govern a spirits in the spiritual realm. And the proof of this, okay, let's think about how many churches are having church on any given Sunday. And if you ever been in church and you felt the Holy Spirit take over you, I have. I don't know about you, but I do know that that exists. And let's say that that is the almighty power of Jesus, because Jesus is very powerful. How can Jesus be in millions of churches at the same time? Well, because time space doesn't exist for Jesus, because Jesus is a spirit.
Right.
So the space and time that it would take to come from our sun to Alpha Centauri and the planets that are around that star, that's our nearest star, by the way, 4.2 light years away, is instantaneous, because the time and space that's involved with us doesn't exist.
Right. Right.
And there it is.
Yeah, it's on a whole nother bound, man. Because I've had some experiences, man, where like I was hospitalized for like 40 days, man.
What?
Yeah, man. And the shit that I was seeing, and the people I was seeing, like, just had my whole shit fucked up for like 2 or 3 months, man. Because just like time didn't even exist there, man. You know, it was like I was able to travel from the one side of the world to another in the blink of an eye. It was crazy, man.
That's called astral projection, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like it was so surreal, but it was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was fucking real, man. It was
It's
real.
very real. And you know, that's actually never been a very strong suit, a strong suit of mine. You know, the times that I've astral projected and was able to like fly in the sky, you know, I've astral projected on purpose, but I didn't. But I went somewhere else. I didn't stay here. You know,
Right.
it scared me. You know, I'm not ashamed to admit I do have control issues, and I like shook myself awake. I'm like, fuck that. I was blasting off. Yeah. I was heading to space, boy. I gotta get out of here.
It scared the shit out of me, man, because you know, you think you got power. You know what I'm saying? You're able to move your arms, move your feet, blink your eyes, and you think that's real power, man. But when you in the spirit world like that,
yeah,
it's like you at the mercy. Like I told one spirit, I'm at your mercy, man.
Yeah.
My life is in your hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Your eternity was in their hands, not your life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's real shit. That's real shit. I can't dispute that.
Yep. Your life crazy, man. does not last forever.
No.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these are all great conversations, valid points, and just you know, and I feel sorry for people that can't correlate. You know, they're closed-minded, or they haven't spiritually evolved to a certain level where they can open their minds up to these certain aspects of reality. You know,
you said before about people not really respecting these things. Like, say somebody is like, "Oh, I'm gonna practice voodoo. I'm black. I'm from Africa. Oh, that's for my people," or whatever. So they just dive into some shit and not knowing what they're doing. They watch a couple of YouTube videos and shit, and I seen that happen. Like with me and Chris, like we left the whole Hebrew Israelite shit alone. Like we like researching a bunch of African stuff. We start talking about religions in West Africa, like voodoo and all this stuff, right? And people like, yeah. Like the people that were just like there for the ride before, now you done show them a new car. So now they hop in that car and they want to like deal with this, deal with that, and not actually know what the fuck they're doing. And like,
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was reading like papers and stuff on Apollo and stuff, which are really popular on my channel. Like, I get people every day watching those videos. Which surprised me. They watch that shit more than anything else on my channel.
Yeah.
I always say in there, yo, I don't practice this. I don't suggest nobody else fucking with this shit unless you know what you're doing. Unless you know somebody that taught you or whatever to be fooling around with this shit, because this shit can fuck you up mentally or might even be physically. So, like, I don't, like, I'm very interested in learning, but I'm not going to go freestyle and go try to do some shit and, like, know what I mean, fuck myself up or whatever else could happen. I don't know.
Right.
But the stuff that I had dabbled in, and I see the results of it, I'm like, well, damn. But it's still not enough to make me dive in some shit where I'm actually dealing with things that, like you said, you're dealing with Baal, like, right? I'm not gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna go fuck with Baal right now. Like, I'm gonna go. I know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. That's like knocking on the old white man dickhead down the street's door, asking for some money. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck off my porch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm not doing that. Like, I know better. Like,
yeah.
I said, I'm fucking with shit I ain't supposed to be fucking with. All shit that I'm convinced. Like, I'm convinced. Like, that shit sealed it right there. Like, I'm like, all right, this is what this shit is. I ain't be fucking with this shit like that. I'm gonna respect it.
You ain't gonna go grab the tiger by the tail.
I'll say this through my experience. Okay. Your divine entities and demons and angels and gods, they don't give a fuck what your race is. Okay. Now, but you gotta remember the law of correspondence. So when it comes, I call these deified mortal spirits. So people that did live here at one time, but they've been worshipped as a god. So they've been deified. Okay. If they was, some of those may be a little particular with who they work with based on culture, race, what have you.
Oh, that's true too. Because isn't it Papa Legba that they say was an actual real person?
I'm not sure about Papa Legba. I mean, a lot of people do say that. But I'm actually not a authority on the Loa.
The Haitian ones, from what I learned, were like actually real people. Like when he
right, and and they suffered a lot in life and experienced a lot of hate. So if that's what it is, then so be it. But just like you can have a change in heart in life, I believe you could have a change in heart in death, and it's just a case by case basis. That's like asking if this person would talk to this person. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of their differences, and I'm trying to just keep this as transparent as possible. Because it really is just like people. You know what I'm saying? But they might, based on the way that their life went down, there's still may be some opinions left. You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do I need to go any further? You know what I'm saying?
In other words, they still learning, they still growing as well.
You could say that. I wouldn't say that, but I guess that's one way of looking at it. I would hope so.
Like where I'm at is really, they have a really deep history, like pre-Revolutionary War type stuff. Like there's some old graveyards in here. Like those graves is old. Like way before Revolutionary War type shit. And Like we got houses out here built 1720 something or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
Damn, that's old, yeah, boy.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
And there was a building or whatever that was built in the graveyard. And how it goes is not legend. It's like documented that the people like the felt he was like a captain, I believe, of like a shipping company, and all the people in the house died.
Yeah.
This like weird deaths. Like they would hear knocking on the walls, like going up the stairs, like somebody running down the stairs, knocking on the wall as they run down the stairs. And people were falling out of windows and dying. People were falling down the stairs, breaking their neck and dying. And
I think I know what you're talking about. Up there, is that like was that like the original Blair Witch haunting?
Oh yeah, something like that. Something like that. It was one of those shows too, one of those paranormal shows. It was, and it became like a hospital kind of place, and people in there were dying. And then there was another family or something moved in there, and them motherfuckers died too. And now it's an empty lot. They tore down the building, and it's an empty lot. Ain't nothing been built there since. And when we were kids, we was playing like in that area, like it's a marsh area, right? And we were playing in there, and my boy, his foot went in the mud. And when he pulled his foot out, there was a handprint on that motherfucker.
Oh, fuck that.
Like something had like a muddy hand and grabbed his foot. Because you know your foot go in there. I don't know if anybody ever happened to anybody, your foot gets stuck in the mud. And you go to pull
in South Carolina for sure.
And your shoe stay in there and your foot just come out like a clean sock. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
Foot came out, it was like something grabbed his foot. You could see the handprint on the damn foot. And we used to find arrowheads and all types of shit like that. So like it had a real heavy Native American population. Like you can still find arrowheads and shit out there if you look.
Yeah. So what? So in order for a haunting or a haunted poltergeist, me and Shalthazan talked about this earlier, and how a poltergeist doesn't necessarily mean spirits like a haunting would, but something of that level. Think about the sadness, the hatred, the pain, the suffering was so vast and great that happened there that it left an energetic imprint on that piece of land in order to where it basically opened up a sympathetic doorway in which these spirits could interact maliciously even with the living. I mean, think about that. I mean, think about probably the killing that happened. Definitely smallpox or the Spanish. I think was it smallpox or the Spanish flu? I can't remember.
Smallpox.
I mean, think about if your child died because these other motherfuckers showed up with some sickness that was just a common cold to them, but it killed your children.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the pain and the suffering and the fear when that baby didn't know what the fuck was going on. Why did it feel so bad until it died? Think about the fear in death when the baby's like, I don't know what's happening. And you're dying. And you think about all that accumulated into one place. That's what you're experiencing. People don't think it's like, oh, this place is haunted. Well, what the fuck caused it to be haunted? And as an occultist and someone that is basically a root worker, that I have been paid before to help people monetarily or otherwise, you have to take all this into account. You know what I'm saying? It's an atrocity and abomination that is taking place, and as an occultist, I have a huge bone to pick with the creator, by the way, to even allow shit like that to happen. Okay, but that's a whole nother video. I would think, but you know, I mean, it's just not to make the video somber or melancholy, but fuck, man, you know, we talking about people being ignorant and stupid and hateful and mean. We got a long ways to go. I mean, we ain't far from them times, you know, not really.
We ain't that far. We ain't that far removed from it, man.
No, man, we're not.
I mean, hell, talking about what 400 years here in America of colonial history. You know what I'm saying?
And we wiped out. I mean, the local Indian tribe around here would have been the Congaree. And I was talking to a man named Chief Eagle Spirit Dancing. He's got a YouTube channel. I think that's his name of his channel, Chief Eagle Spirit Dancing. And I spoke with him, and he's got Congaree DNA, but the culture is wiped out, man.
Yeah.
We don't know this. We don't know the spiritual practices, the social, domestic practices of these people.
Right. And that's a sad history that I don't think that we would ever be able to make up for it. I mean, like America as a nation would never be able to give the people back what they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
We have to look towards the future. Unfortunately, you know, I come from poor people, but you can say, yeah, my ancestors are the one that did it, man. You know, fucking terrible. And this some shit that I have to live with, knowing that my ancestors were a bunch of evil fucking savages. You know.
Well, if that's how you see it, bro.
I mean, now hold on. Everybody got evil fucking savages in their line. Don't get me wrong, but my people are the ones that took them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I can feel you.
Yeah, I personally don't feel, because I'm a spirit. This is just a vessel that came off the same line that them vessels came off of in the white man factory. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm a spirit. This is just a vessel. So I don't feel any personal ties to that.
Right.
But it is, you know, it is pretty shitty.
Yeah, but you tied to the history of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm associated with it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all, man, it's crazy. We all victims of it, bro. Like
we victims of that book. We victims of that damn book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were victims. Both sides is victim of that book.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that book, none of that shit be going on.
Nah.
And every race at some point or another has been enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Or been genocides committed against. You know, every race on Earth at some point or another has experienced this.
Yeah.
You know, but
well,
it's just an abomination.
Or when people die, like you say how people dig graveyard dirt, right?
Yeah.
Are those spirits left in that spot where they're buried?
I sort of touched on this on that what y'all doing video that you did.
Yeah.
Where I told you I only have an explanation that is a theory, because I myself as a whole have never died, so I do not know for sure. But since time and space does not exist, I'll go over it again. Whether you go to heaven or hell or some other astral realm, or if you reincarnate either on this planet as a human or something else entirely, or even something else even more entirely on another planet, yet you disturb a grave, and then things supernaturally happen when you do that most of the time. Okay. So is that spirit still here, tied to that grave and reincarnated, and in heaven? Because time does not exist, so why couldn't both be happening simultaneously? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's kind of a hard one to grasp, but that's just my theory, because if time and space do not exist, then certainly that is possible.
We have like I was talking about like those old graves and stuff. There was one time I was a kid. I was riding my bike by, right? It was a small graveyard, right? It was at nighttime. And there were some motherfuckers in there. Yo, this shit is crazy. I'm thinking about I'm picturing it right now. It was maybe about 5 or 6 of them. And they had white robes on with hoods. It wasn't the Klan. It wasn't the Klan. It wasn't the Klan. They were doing other shit.
The KKK.
Doing. It wasn't the KKK and shit. But like they had like hoodies on, like they were dressed all white. And it was late at night. They was in that motherfucking graveyard. And I hauled ass.
What the fuck is your ass doing that at 12 at night, 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, I'm probably about 14.
Yeah, they was doing some weird shit, no doubt.
The wall.
Shit was getting weird.
Yeah, and I saw them motherfuckers. I was like, oh shit. I was like, out. I was out. Left them motherfuckers. Yeah. But like there's a guy that practices Apollo that I know, and I asked him, I was like, they said like when you make these deals, you find these spirits from the Ganga that the grave like trembles, like it shakes. And like he just looked at me and just raised his eyebrows and shit. I was like, wow. So like there's some truth to that shit. Like that's bugged out to experience some like shit like that.
Yeah. No doubt.
Some heavy ass shit. Well, I know I hear a lot of occultists, like people that practice voodoo and stuff, talked about like the graveyard dirt. I even see people selling graveyard dirt online.
Yeah,
graveyard dirt.
That's just crazy. Is there something, or what could be like the dangers of something like that? Somebody like fucking around.
Okay. All right. Here's the dangers. All right. Here we go. Now, I have experienced quite a bit from this or with this particular tool. Okay, graveyard dirt. In voodoo, it's got another name, but I'm super tired right now, so I can't think of it. I'll think of it tomorrow. Because voodoo is a tradition, and I'm traditionless. I use what works. From here and there, from many other traditions, basically creating my own personal doctrine, but things that work for me personally may not work for you. It's all different. So the Saturnian energy, and Saturnian means like Saturn. Okay, if you ever look up what Saturn represents, it's the part in change that isn't pleasant. It's kind of like when you're running 5 miles and you're 3 miles deep and you're tired, and all you can hear is just the repetitive beating of the pavement from your feet as you're running into your 3rd mile, and you're sweaty and you just want to stop, but you can't. Well, it's the same as change when you die. The rot and the decay and how things change that way is basically Saturnian energy. And I could write a book on this because I have a lot of experience with this. And let me put this out as a warning to anyone out here listening to this that think that they're an occultist and they want to get into working with Saturnian magic. Don't do it. Okay? I'm going to put that out there. Don't do it. So the death, the energy, the death energy that is attached to the particular person that is buried under that grave is attached to that dirt. Okay? And I just call that Saturnian energy. This stuff is spiritually very sticky. Okay? And what you'll begin to experience lapses in time. You'll begin to experience some sort of degeneration of yourself, like your mind or your even physical parts of your body, or or you know, there's when you get sucked into the death current, you know, and you don't have the Mac to handle that, a lot of crazy things can happen. That's how you can lose your mind. Now you can use it as in the way that it's used in a lot of folk traditions and voodoo traditions and stuff. But the reality is, you gotta think about what it is you actually have there. You have Earth, okay, that came from a grave, and you have everything, that entire person's life, and also all the energy that came off of that body as it decayed is all there in that dirt. So you gotta realize what you're connecting with, so to speak, and being true with yourself, if you can even handle that. Because, like I said, that when you get into the death current, a lot of crazy stuff can happen. That's where a lot of people can go crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that thing, and that was enough for me to leave that motherfucking not fucking no shit like that. On EA coding site, he had that guy. I remember you said like, dude, full of shit.
Yeah, his name is Dante Abiel or something like that. Yeah, what a fucking shit turd. I even went through that book, man. I got, because you sent me those PDFs of the spider and the butterfly or whatever.
Yeah.
And but then I downloaded the Saturian Necromancy that Dante guy wrote. I wasn't impressed, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would what's the name said? Leonard.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. It actually, I'm writing a book right now, and whenever I get this first book published, it's taking me a long time because it's an epic novel. But I'm gonna write. I think I've decided the past couple of days I'm gonna write my own doctrine. I'm gonna call it the Doctrine of the Sleeping Serpent, and I'm gonna write some real shit, and put that out there, and you know, passive aggressively call their shit out. You know.
There's a book. I don't know if I sent you the PDF for that or not. Called Quantum Voodoo. Have you ever heard of that?
No, you did, man, and I actually didn't give it the respect that it needed. I did only read like the first page. I need to go back through it and read it for you.
Yeah, I didn't finish reading it. Pete probably did. I know I sent it to Pete. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool book. I put the name of that book you were talking about before, the animal. Where is it? Animal. Animals. Animal speak.
Animal Speak. Yeah, by Ted Andrews. Yeah, you looked it up, man. Yeah, that's the one. Great book. Great starter level book for people just starting off. Super great book.
What else would you suggest for somebody that's interested in getting into this path? Things that they could work on, or to help them understand, maybe like books, or even just certain type of rituals or certain systems or stuff like that.
So this is what I would say. I would definitely study. I would study. Don't do no rituals. Okay. You can do meditations, do things for yourself. Don't work with anything foreign. Okay. Except for maybe like Jesus would be a good one. Unconditional love and forgiveness. You know, a lot of maybe your European goddesses and your African goddesses like Yamaya is very very loving and forgiving. Let's see here. Definitely study your physics and your quantum physics. You know, be a scientist. Study your animals, study your plants, study how things actually work in the body, and even down to a cellular and then molecularly and to an atomic level. And But as far as pantheons go, I jokingly say I started very green. The very first entity or spirit I ever worked with was the Green Man, which was a face in the leaves of the trees. Okay, which is basically the presence of the creator in nature. And I saw this both as a man as a woman. It just depends on how my how my eyes perceive the patterns of leaves in the canopy above, or in the bushes adjacent to me. Now, as far as pantheons go, the first true pantheon I worked with was the Orisha, was Ogun. I would honestly say, despite what racist white people have portrayed the Nordic and Germanic gods to be, as racist, in reality, Odin got all kinds of baby mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's actually all about interacting with people that are different than you. You got the Aesir and the Vanir. Study your pantheons before you work within them. And definitely just be true to yourself and open your mind up and begin to make connections is a huge thing. But besides that, I can't really, besides all that, besides not just study, find something that you're interested in and study it so that you take it in. Okay. Also, and be careful with this, but find someone that knows more than you, and learn from them. Find someone that sees something in you and takes you in as a student, but be critical of everything they say, because a lot of people I hear get off on claiming to be some sort of powerful spiritualist when really they're full of bullshit. Okay, there's a lot of those. So be very selective and cross-reference everything that they say until you finally realize, like, hey, this is a real person, or they're really real about this and they know what they're talking about, and this all checks out and makes sense objectively and logically. So, and I'll leave it with that. Be very objective and open-minded and study. Do not practice. Do not do any rituals. Except for with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said before, I ain't calling our shit.
Yeah, I think I told you that in the beginning. Like, don't do it. Like, I studied for 10 years straight without doing anything.
Yeah.
I basically have a PhD in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it, because honestly, I did. Like, let me see. I was like probably like 7 years in. Fucked my life up. Fucked it up. I'm talking about dug a hole so deep it took me quite a while to dig back out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you think mess you up. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like a lot of people take this stuff away. They want to put the whole race thing into it and think they own something. They can just do whatever they want with it, and they be in for a surprise.
Hey, I'm gonna say this because I'm the bold, brazen type. All these people that like to put their race into spiritual practice, you're fucking retarded, and you're exactly the people that we're talking against, because that makes no sense. Your physical body has nothing to do with a spiritual practice. That's why it's called a spiritual practice. It's not a body practice.
Absolutely. So, yeah, with that, I think we're gonna close on up.
Yeah, man, I'm tired as fuck, man. I gotta go to work in the morning.
It was difficult. Came back on and spoke for a little longer, but we get him on here again. Mythos, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And you're welcome anytime on the panel. Hit me up. Shout out me in the chat. Hit me on the comments and stuff. And Siberius can give you my email also.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna give you a tongue lashing for not having your phone charged, man. God damn.
I broke it. I broke the phone.
Oh no, I was talking about Mythos.
Oh. Yeah, I broke my stuff today. I don't know what to do. Something turn on and nothing. But yeah, right.
A tongue lashing for you, sir, for not having your. You ever seen that movie, The Campaign, with Will Ferrell?
Nah.
Oh man, he called and he was talking about tonguing some girl down, and then the guy was like, Jesus is gonna give him a tongue lashing, not like the one he requested. You gotta check that movie out, man. But anyways, yeah, I'll definitely get you in contact. Actually, before we close off there, Killer B, I'm actually gonna start. Remember that Voodoo Cartel business I was talking about?
Yeah, right on.
I'm gonna get that going, and I'm gonna start us all in a text group. So we'll have everyone's number, and y'all just and I'm gonna clear it with every member that I know that I personally deem worthy to be part of this group. You are included, sir. So is Mythos, and and I'm gonna run it by everybody before I do this, make sure that everyone's comfortable with it, and we'll have everyone's number, and we'll have one big text group where we could all talk.
Right on.
Yeah.
You got the shaman on here too, yo. I like the shaman.
Oh yeah. Oh man, you get him. Oh, that's why that first interview I called it the cut 'em loose interview, boy, because just like I ramble, who do you think I learned how to speak from?
Yeah, I like that people talk. Like I love that shit. I eat that shit up. I can listen to it all day. I can listen to it all day.
Hey, nah, for real though, we need to get him on Chris's channel. Oh God.
Yo, that would be wild.
Oh man, that would start a riot. Then people couldn't handle it.
Yeah, they'd be fucking lose their fucking minds. Everybody be bald in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, what y'all had to call him the General something else, boy. Like, hey, I don't even know, dude. Like, because he was there whenever Chris like cut me out.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Oh man, y'all pissed him off so bad. Y'all don't even know. I had to calm him down. He was like, "You don't want me on that channel. I will fucking cut loose on them." And honestly, he would, dude. It would not be cool.
We love that shit, yo. We love that shit. Hell yeah, we love that shit.
Hey,
get
him on if you want to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hurt him loose on some of them.
Cut him loose, boy. Cut him loose.
Cut him loose.
That's it.
Cut him loose. Yeah, man, he'd be good on Chris's show. He'd be good.
Oh man, Chris would throw him off 3 times. Hey, let me say this: Shaman would incite an emotional response.
Yeah, I'm good. People were like they were bugged out as soon as you got on there. They was like,
oh man.
They was like, yo, what the fuck going on? This is like the show.
Dude.
Yeah, they was on you and shit.
Hey, I'm mild sauce compared to Shaman. That's the muy caliente special there, boy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh man, yeah, bug on them complete. Hey, dude, we gotta get that going. We just gotta do that. We might get famous if that happens. We might get famous. We might be on the news. We'll be on BuzzFeed and shit.
No, we gotta get you on, yo. We gotta get you in the debate league.
What's the debate league?
They got it's some ratchet ass fucking shit. This is a bunch of dummies. But you fuck around and get a trophy.
Yeah. Oh, is that shit where you were talking about, like, you got to be careful on here because people will come after you?
In general. That just,
okay.
In general, especially like on my channel and shit, this is some bugged out motherfuckers and shit in like our little community or whatever you call it. But,
yeah.
the debate league is cool and shit. They just debate like retarded ass topics, like what's better, like, you know what I mean, this or that, or what's best for black people, the Bible or fucking voodoo, or fucking some stupid shit, or
shit.
atheists over there, Hebrew Israelites, Muslims, like mystic type motherfuckers, like Bleedo.
Yeah.
There's all types of people over there, but there's a lot of dummies too. Like a lot of people that really don't know how to research and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'll bust their ass. I won't hold back. I'll keep it real.
Chris won all the goddamn trophies this year. He won all. Yeah, he won all of them. Chris got like 3 trophies.
Hell yeah, I have to check that out.
Yeah, Chris be fucking them up over there and shit. Like they hate to see him coming.
Yeah, Chris is you know, as far as you know, the way that he studied these different texts and knows how to pull that information just off the dome. He's impressive, man.
Yeah.
He really is. I like Chris a whole lot. You know, I listen to his channels. He's been putting out a lot of stuff, and I'll be giving it a gander, you know.
Yep.
And but boy, whew,
I'll be like,
Chris,
yo, I don't really understand what they're saying. And he'll read it and spit it back out to me in regular English and shit. I'll be like, damn. Yeah, but he reads books, dude.
Hey, let me tell you what though, man. If Chris gets shaman on, he may just meet his maker. I don't know. I ain't saying nothing.
Hear that, Chris?
Woo, that motherfucker. That'd be some shit. I mean, I'm getting chills thinking about that one.
Yep. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, we gotta do that. Just have him pop in one day. Chris always open the panel up this shit. Just have him
yeah. He likes all the smoke, huh? Hey.
Come on there. Yeah, I saw the smoke.
Shaman is the smoke factory, I promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be real cool and cordial at first, but there'll be some trigger words that incite some sort of emotional response, and it's on from there. It'll be the trigger word especial.
I do hate that Chris has to go through all the fuckery and shit because he works hard and he's real like cordial and shit. Like when he tries to explain things, then people excite him and like this Saint's dumb shit and it fucking pisses him off. And now I feel bad because like some of me is like wearing off on him and shit. He's starting to cuss motherfuckers out. He's like, what the fuck you saying now? You can't fucking deal. You can't talk to these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, Chris.
I wish that damn orange guy jumped on, man. I would have showed y'all a piece of something. Orange box sneakers. You listen to this, you pussy motherfucker. Jump on next time instead of talking all that shit. You fucking dumb fuck.
That's the first time I've seen that name in here.
Yeah. He's a dumbass. I'd love you want to talk all that shit. Bring your ass on. Or turn the cameras on. See how fucking ugly you are.
He might have came from Twitter or something. Because I shared it in Twitter too. So sometimes I get some people up in here and stuff. He wanted you guys to speak on Ifa. That was his thing originally.
That's just like voodoo. It's its own tradition, and I'm familiar with it and I'm aware of it. And I know some people that practice it, and I have a lot of great respect for them. But not my thing. You know, I'm not an authority on that. There's not much I can speak on it as far as traditions, because traditions are dogma. They're man-made. And I just don't put a lot of energy into dogma or cultures for that matter. You know, I appreciate different aspects of different cultures that I enjoy. You know, but as far as, well, it's their culture to do it this way, but my way works too. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
And I hear that from a lot of people. Like I just use what work.
That's the real way to do it. Who cares about the culture? Like, yeah, you can pay homage to the people that's come before you with a little something, but goddamn, man. That tradition is something that worked for the person that had enough Mac in the community to make that a tradition. It may not work for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people have to realize that.
Yeah, let me close it on up. Thank you for coming on. This is a great show today.
Yeah, I had a great time, man. Thank you for having us on, and look forward to talking with you soon. And we'll have our little conversation tomorrow about mid morning, like always.
Yep. No doubt.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You too.
Siberius, the Sleeping Serpent. You guys can go check out his channel on YouTube also, along with Mythos, the gum, Draco. I said, yeah, Mythos, Big Gum. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna go out with. So No Face Killer. How about that, kid? Go out with some No Face Killer. I'm gonna pick a random track and shit. I forgot what was on these tracks.
Do Method Man by Method Man.
Nah, the motherfuckers will flag my motherfucking shit. You fucking around with that. This shit.
All right, man.
Motherfuckers I know. I don't know. Do they alert you or give you a warning or stuff? I know.
I don't think I'm big enough yet because I just be putting whatever the fuck I want on there.
Yeah, sometimes if the audio's a little weird, it won't pick it up. And sometimes that motherfucker do. So I usually just play shit for motherfuckers I know. Shit for motherfuckers don't get me. That shit. Some bullshit.
Hey, type in play this. Do you ever play music from SoundCloud?
Yeah. Yep. Type
in 650 by Thomas Tolan. He's like an uncle to me, man. Thomas Tolan, Tolen, 650. It's some real gangster ass shit. It's pretty cool. Alright, you goddamn what's my gel, you gotta wait. Burn it.